Good evening, everybody. How's it going?
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, I forgot. I had this on like all day. You gave me this. You gave me this this hat.
Oh, that GameCube hat.
Yeah, it's that GameCube hat.
You know, I think that's part of what I won in that Planet GameCube contest.
Oh,
way back in 2004.
Yeah.
I mentioned that contest. I forgot about that as one of the prizes because I forgot I had it and I forgot I gave it to you. But
yeah,
that was I mentioned it in that script about the Mario animation.
yeah. Well, now we can show the hat.
Yeah, I mean, I could show that. I mean, you know, I mentioned last week that I was working on that video until, like, you know,
last week,
the middle of the week before last week's stream,
right?
And I wasn't able to continue because of Windows XP issues. By the way, I'm going to meet up with Jonathan Henson next week.
Is he going to give you any more CRTs?
Well.
I guess that's the real question, right?
No. We're done with CRTs, I think. But no, he's he and Henry Clark confirmed that like he's got like a bunch of these old like business computers.
Yeah.
Like Dell Optiplex or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like I can hook you up, and Henry Clark confirmed that Windows XP installs on them. So
nice.
So I've got my path forward, but it's going to have to be next year that I make the episode. But it can be done. So hopefully that will solve my problem.
The cool thing is going to be like when it comes time to do that, like you have like most of the material already.
I've got shot.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
I may consider reshooting the beginning and end to kind of recontextualize it, but I probably won't have to reshoot the stuff in the middle. So that should come together pretty well once I get to it. But anyway, I've been working on. We were talking about how it's kind of crazy that you sent me a package.
Yeah.
With the 4K Gamer Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And it arrived Monday.
Right.
Because you were going to do a stream with it, but then it's like, you can't really. A stream's not going to tell you anything about it.
Right.
Because you had a review unit.
Yeah.
And so we were like, well, this is kind of more the type of thing Try would look at.
Yeah.
So you sent it to me. I bought for some reason a while back an M Classic. I was going to test it with something else, and that I ended up not doing that. Which these are not devices I personally am terribly enthusiastic about, but I'm doing the episode, and I mean it's been an interesting process actually. I think even if you don't think these are useful devices, you might learn something along the way, because I kind of frame it up in a way of like, hey, like I've learned things testing these, even though I'm not going to choose to use them. Like it's interesting. It's been a learning process, and hopefully some people might learn something from watching them too, and just be generally entertained, because it's got a crap load of comparisons.
Because they're so easy to make, you're saying.
They're so easy to make. But these are not necessarily my kind of upscalers, the way that they work, but it'll be interesting. And you know what? You might see it and be like, well, Try doesn't like it, but I like what it does. And so you can determine that for yourself by looking at the comparisons.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's kind of crazy is that that device was not in my house. The 4K Gamer Pro was not in my house until Monday afternoon, and
right.
I barely had time to do anything with it that day. I didn't have much time to do anything with it Tuesday. I had some things come up and wasn't able to start working on it until like the latter part of the afternoon on Wednesday. the Game Awards was on Thursday, so that kind of distracted me. Like, it wasn't until Friday and Saturday that I had like full days to work on this.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a 34-minute timeline that's like almost completely filled in.
That's great.
Like, it's kind of crazy how fast it's come together. So I'm hoping that I'll get most of the rest finished tomorrow. Maybe have just a few loose ends to tie up Tuesday. I'm going to be doing freelance work Wednesday through Friday, so I really do need to finish it on Tuesday no matter what. So
that's the goal. Is like Tuesday finish, hopefully Wednesday release.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Analog Frontiers Part 4. The fact that we shifted my gears again to do this episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's reality has caught up with me, and I've realized 2022 is going to be the year of no Analog Frontiers after all.
But then it'll be
to avoid that. But I'm going to keep working on even just a teensy bit each day, as I'm also working on the games we played in 2022, so that it will be pretty easy to finish up, in January.
Right.
It will be my first episode of 2023, unless we're expecting a review unit of the Crix RGB blaster.
Yeah, which I know is on the way. I don't know if you saw like the DMs from.
I did see. So, but I mean, who knows when it could get here?
Right, exactly.
Depending on how quickly that may or may not get here, I would change gears to do that as quickly as possible. But otherwise, I'll have Analog Frontiers Part 4 out pretty early in 2023 for sure.
I mean, I think that going into 2023, like we're
feeling good.
We're feeling good, and we say that every year. I think, like, because we always like cram at this time. But I think that we learned some valuable stuff this year in the way that like content has been like virtually non-existent.
And then when we actually have managed to like really have enough time to like focus on it, like, I was able to tackle this so efficiently, and really the OLED episode ended up being quite efficient as well. Although that was intense. I mean, those were some of the hardest work days of my life, just because I had to get done with the C2 before Best Buy picked it up again.
Yeah. Well, either way, like I feel very good about about next year, especially like
it's going to be totally different year.
So. Anyways, I'm going to play this beautiful Katamari. It's backwards compatible on the Xbox Series X.
Yep.
And I got this at Goodwill. I think I got it like years ago. It was one time, I think I got it right before, I feel like it was like right before I came down to visit you. Like I got it at Goodwill, and it was like in the back of my car, like during that trip. And you played through this on the Backlogger stream a couple of weeks ago, and you're like, oh, it's pretty fun because we haven't really like loved any of the like the post for like after the first game, like they've been okay, but like we just I don't know.
They started focusing too much on gimmicks, like make a Katamari with a bunch of crabs and do all these weird stuff with like water and fire and stuff like that, which this game has like 2 levels where there's like sort of a gimmick like that, and the rest is all just like make a Katamari a certain size and win. The king does have like some objectives.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, like get a bunch of expensive things in this Katamari, or get a bunch of
but you just get that like in terms of like you'll just pick those up anyways, right?
Right. And if you, depending on how much of that stuff you get and at what percentage it is, he'll give you a better score, but you still beat the level.
Right.
So it's really about building the biggest Katamari, and that's what I loved so much about the first game was, there are a few gimmick levels, but really just that purity of design of like you start small, you get bigger, and that's mostly what there is to it, and that's what I love so much about the original game. And we love Katamari.
I'm gonna see what happens here. Why Why can't my console connect to Xbox Live?
That's weird. But anyway, that kind of turned me. I saw on Discord it said you were playing Beautiful Katamari. It says you're streaming Beautiful Katamari. Why is this,
I can play it, but I can't load my save game. I played through the beginning. I played through the first level, like the tutorial.
Yeah.
So I'm going to reboot the console and see if what happens here.
But anyway, so I played through this on the Backloggery stream a few weeks ago. I told you about like how kind of great it was. It was like now I'm like really curious if like maybe some of the other Katamari sequels. Rad Jago, I don't know if I said that right, says it's a known issue for 360 games at the moment.
Oh, that it just is not connecting? That's like where my save games is.
Farman says this was happening to me too.
It was fine earlier.
Well, if it doesn't work with the reboot, I guess you can just start fresh. Not a big deal. I don't think you have to play the tutorial level anyway.
I mean, it was so quick. But it's just weird that that was happening.
You can skip the tutorial though if you want. You know what's really funny though? This was, I believe, this was one of the games that was in that last wave of backwards compatible games, like about a year ago. You remember?
Yes. This was in the last wave, right? Yeah.
I think so. If it wasn't,
last wave, not to be confused with the outrun song. Last wave.
But I got a whole bunch of original Xbox and 360 games when they did that, and so the next stream I streamed like a bunch of the newly backwards compatible games, or at least new to me ones. I can't remember for sure if this was part of that wave or not. But anyway, I got the game, and I streamed like the first level. And then when I did the Backloggery stream, the save data was exactly 1 year ago to the day. Like total coincidence. I just like thought that day, I'm like, well,
the big question is like,
sounds like a good stream game.
Okay, so I fly off to leave.
Yeah, and I think if you hold the X button, maybe you move faster.
Okay.
When you fly to the cosmos, that's like some online garbage. This is important. When you go back to where you can wander around, like a bunch of like platforms will appear with different levels over the course of the game. It's a little confusing because it doesn't really always show you where the new levels are, so you kind of have to wander around a little bit to find like, oh, this one's new. Ludicrous fool. I don't remember where that was mentioned on Digital Foundry, but I was talking to John about it the day after I beat this game. I was like, oh man, I played Beautiful Katamari last night and I had such a great experience with it. It was so good.
So am I, really quick, you need to
get out of this. You need to get out of this. You need to get back to like where you were like wandering around on the planet.
Okay. Now, where do I go from here? I don't even understand.
You can float. I think if you hold the X button, you can move faster.
Yeah.
Go to the right. Go fly off to the right. And
okay.
Level. And there will be more like regions that appear over the course of the game. The egg is the tutorial level, so you don't need to do that yet.
All right. Well. Come on.
I was confused about how to get around and where to go first. But anyway, I was on Johnny. He's like, oh yeah, that runs on some weird engine and it's uncapped and it's like almost always 35 FPS on average, or lower on 360. I'm like, well, I mean, I play on Series X and it was great. you know. So I almost I wonder if he's like, yeah, I like the PS3 one better. And I'm like, oh well. I wonder if he's like so negative on it though, because it was like colored by his original experience playing it at 35 FPS with dips into the 20s. You know, here I'm like, well, this is great.
Finally, we're getting going here. You know, the King of the Cosmos is kind of funny, but like I barely care anymore. Like it's just like it's just
he talks way too much.
Yes.
Yeah. It was funny in the original game, but yeah, he's a chore to deal with now. There's a bonus level at the end, where you actually start off at this size, the size you're at on this level, and you can go all the way to the biggest point that you can get in the final level.
Oh wow!
Like they have the full scale, but the king, it's a bonus level after you beat the game, and the king like wants you to get like it's kind of an annoying level, and he changes his mind for like what kinds of things he wants you to collect throughout the level, and he like is talking constantly.
And every like, time he talks, he takes up half the screen.
I know, and it was just like, oh, it was pretty annoying actually.
Yeah, it's like it was cute, like in the first one, it was funny and quirky, but now it's just kind of like, shut up, stop talking, leave me alone.
But you know, I definitely screwed up and had to retry levels several times, so you do want to focus more on speed than anything else, I would say.
That's easy enough to do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not a bad idea to try to go for the objectives that the king has, but the levels are also, like, the time limit is surprisingly short. Like, I feel like in general the time limit is shorter, maybe, than in the original game.
Yeah.
Like, you've already got only, like, a minute and a half left.
I don't know how big I need to get here.
I see Rears to Blood, and I saw this mentioned in the Discord as well. Finally beat Dragon Quest XI, but moving into the post game, which is really
that's actually like I don't think you can consider not playing the like the post game like actually beating it.
Yeah, it's I never actually did that on the Switch version though. I did beat it on the Switch version, but I never did Act 3. But on the original PS4 version, I did all 3. Yeah, because I mean I feel like in a lot of ways I had mixed feelings when I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like when it's revealed what you're going to do in Act 3. I'm like, man, this feels like kind of a bad idea. This is dangerous. Like we could really screw this up. I'm like, maybe we shouldn't do this. I feel like in the real world, not changing anything would have been the right decision. Like not going for the choice that they present you with. I feel like not doing it, but of course, because it's a video game, we have to try.
Yeah.
And, you know, you know, once you get invested in it, then it's kind of like, oh, well, yeah, now we really got to go for it and do it. It's definitely, the game is definitely not over when you
yeah.
get that.
I mean, it ends like, it's like kind of a downer.
It is, but it's also like it's kind of gutsy what they did.
Yeah.
You know? It's pretty gutsy what they did. And in some ways I almost wish they had the guts to not go further.
Yeah. But like not go further.
I'm trying really hard to skirt around what it is, you know? But it's gutsy. It's like really like in Act 2, like when you realize what's happened, it's like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe they actually did that.
Yeah, but I guess if you don't do that, you also don't get the connection, right? You don't get the connection to.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's like that literally had my jaw drop. I was like, whoa. Did you even? You didn't. I had to.
No, I haven't played it. I haven't played.
Don't say
what it's referring to. So
yes.
See, I'm just,
you'll play the
HD
2D version of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. What was the last game in this series to come out?
That's a good. Could it have been the Vita one?
Like, did they just decide, like, oh, it's just not selling, or people are bored of it, there's not a lot to do with it? Do you think it's only a matter of time before they do another one, or is it over?
Let's see. Katamari video game series. Oh, the most recent
reroll, yeah.
The remake. And I heard something about a We Love Katamari reroll, which, I mean, I guess I'd get it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that.
Well, I don't have the original anymore, so I would definitely get that. I mean, I would get the. I don't have the original version of We Love Katamari.
Yeah, I had it back in the day, and then I.
Yeah, same here.
I sold it. And
yeah,
then
just because it didn't feel worth it.
It looks like there were a number of mobile games.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Katamari Amore, Katamari Damacy Mobile Plus, Katamari Damacy Mobile 2, Tap My Katamari, and Amazing Katamari Damacy.
Amazing.
But the last new video game system Katamari was Touch My Katamari for Vita.
Oh, okay.
Still a hilarious name.
Yeah.
So that was 11 years ago.
Jeez. Doesn't seem like it. I never played that one. I mean, I didn't play any of them. Like really.
So
after...
really, the only physical ones that I'm missing are Me and My Katamari for PSP, Katamari Forever for PS3, and Touch My Katamari for Vita.
Yeah, I mean, there's something just really relaxing about it. Playing it now, it's just nice. And this feels like something that even if I don't finish it tonight, I could easily finish it tomorrow. I'm not going to mention. Even if I do finish it, I won't bring it up in the games we played. Since I
kind of have a cutoff too. When it comes to, I'm going to mention it. So
yeah.
I saw that. Retro Morgan said, I had a big win today. Found Castlevania Legacy of Darkness for $28 loose in a retail store. They clearly marked it as just Castlevania.
Huh. So, is that expensive now? It must be, I guess.
It's long been a little pricey.
I mean, I have that one, but I don't feel like I paid very much for it.
I mean, I paid 35 or 40 for it.
Okay, so that would probably be close to
that was many years ago, though. And
well, what's it at now? I wonder.
I don't know. Chris says Legacy of Darkness is at least $100.
What? Oh my gosh.
But it's funny that you mentioned that because I got a Fenris Wolf Retro hooked me up with a good condition original version Famicom for when we review the XRGB blaster, right?
Right. Yeah.
and he threw a few bonuses into the box.
Yeah.
And one of them was a boxed copy of Castlevania for N64. And I set it on top of like some other games that I haven't added to my backloggery or put on my shelf yet. That, just some stack of games that I need to file away. And I was thinking earlier today, like, have you seen this game? Like, I feel like I heard it might not be very good, but like I was just really curious, and I saw a good deal for it. I was like, I'm just really curious. I want to give it a try. Let me look. It's like I don't know. It's like it's Chinese. It's Zhuan Wan Sword 7. It's like it's from a Taiwanese developer, and like that like Chinese Sword and Fairy series.
Yeah.
It's like super long running Chinese RPG series.
Yeah, and like the first one is coming out like at the beginning, like next year, like localized, I think.
Like the original game?
No, it's like the 7th game, I think.
Well, no, it's out.
Not in English.
It is in English. Well, the version I got, maybe it was the Asian version, but it has English in it. Or
so it's the same. Is it the same thing as
Sword and I think it's like Sword and Fairy 7 Together Forever or something like that. I got that too. I tried it a little bit. It seems, like it could be kind of good, like a Trials of Mana tier kind of game.
Yeah.
Seemed like it'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, I think that I have that on my wish list.
Like I found out about this like other thing that does have like an ESRB release, and it's like this one's from a Taiwanese developer, and it's the 7th game, and I'm like let me look how far back do these go? These go back to 1990.
Jeez.
It's I'm really fascinated by these like long-running RPG series that like are from the other side of the world and we know nothing about. I'm just like, I want to try it,
Yeah, yeah. So I see that Ricky Diamond says that it's available in English, but the physical English version isn't out till next year.
Okay. Yeah. So I got like the Asian physical, but it has English on it.
Okay.
But I was really curious about those because it's just like, like I don't know that much about Chinese games or Taiwanese games,
Yeah.
I want to try it.
Clearly there must be a lot of love for the series.
If there's that many, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I want to give it a try for myself. So anyway, I saw a good deal on it, and I was like, I'm going to buy that. But anyway, so like I have this stack of games, and however you say it, Zhuan Wan Sword 7 is sitting on the top of the pile, and I put this boxed Japanese copy of Castlevania 64 on the top of it. And I'm thinking, am I the only person in the world who has
done that?
Who has ever put a Japanese boxed copy of Castlevania 64 on top of a US Xbox version of Zhuan Wan Sword 7?
I don't know. Like you're like the idea of like being the first person to do certain things is getting like so obscure now. Like in your mind. Like, the first person that's ever played beautiful Katamari while also looking at a copy of Sword and Fairy sitting on top of...
Are you the first person to play beautiful Katamari wearing a GameCube winter hat?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's like that feels like it's possible.
I mean, I used to think about that all the time when, like, I would get a new game and I would take out the game that was in the system and I would put it in the case for the new game. And it's like, you know, am I the first person in the world to put, you know, a disc of Suikoden 5 in a case for I don't know, God of War 2?
I'm just picking up these fat stacks of hundreds.
I think about that stuff, that kind of stuff, not infrequently. Like, am I the only person that has done this? Done this very obscure thing that there would be no way to verify.
Yeah. And you can always just pretend that indeed you are the only person who's ever done that.
I mean, for all I know, I might be the only person in the world to even own a boxed Japanese copy of Castlevania 64 and the Xbox version of Zhuan 7.
I doubt that.
I mean, there's probably people who, like, stay on top of having, like, a pretty comprehensive video game collection. But I bet the number of people that own both of those things is vanishingly small. There was 6 minutes ago, a $5 super chat from Nana Cheesecake.
Nana, it's appropriate name for this game.
Appropriate, saying nah. I always get that stuck in my head. Happy Sunday. Yeah, I mean that was in when we did that what was it, 30-day game music challenge that we just did in a single video.
Yeah.
That was my pick for a song that is constantly stuck in your head, and I really mean it. Like, I will just like it's almost like a soothing thing to me. Like, if everything feels stressful, like just a little bit of na 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 na, like, you know, sort of makes things feel a little okay, you know?
Yeah.
I like this is, it's easily the video game music that's stuck in my head the most.
I can't.
Yours was it the Me Maker?
It might have been like maybe.
It was like one of the Wii apps.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo this level.
Oh no. You can get pretty nervous early on because it's like, oh man, but then like the size goes up exponentially.
Yeah.
The bigger you get. There was also a €5 with no comment, but thank you from Frank Borst.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And a $10 from EB Chill 2. Always good to see you. Saying just checking in. Have a great week, everybody.
That's
I think it's gonna be a fun week. We'll get this episode out. I'll do my freelance project, which is actually going to be pretty fun. And you know, I'll continue writing my games we played. Do some capture for that. We did a little capture.
Have you? How much of the games we played stuff have you written? I mean, compared to like what you had before. Mine ended up being like it's like 16 pages.
I mean, I haven't written anything in like a week.
Oh, okay.
But like, I mean, I'd say I have most of it written. Like, there's a lot more games, but I like a lot of those are also going to be my lightning round where I hold myself to 30 seconds.
Right.
There was £2 from JL.
Oh, thank you.
Saying, is the king ever pleased?
No.
Shockingly, yes. He was actually pleased once or twice with me. And like, I thought he would never say anything that like even belied any degree of being impressed. And for some reason, the fact that you could impress him just made me feel all the more insulted by all the times that he was like, this is not good enough. And I thought I did really good. I really like the unfiltered texture look of this. You know, it's different seeing it in HD versus like
right, yeah.
Right?
Although, you know, it's not as, you know, like you've already had a taste of it with the reroll.
That's true. But it was kind of a revelation, like going back to this and seeing like, oh, this is like a new to me Katamari that was like exactly what I wanted all this time. And I just didn't realize because like I thought, because I want to say I played the demo for the PS3 one and maybe oh, I just noticed you could pull the corks out of the bottles. That's funny. Yeah. I can't remember if I did that. But I played the demo for the PS3 one and maybe the Vita one. And I feel like they had like levels in it that were really gimmicky. Oh, when he says you can go outside, like you should definitely. Did you do that before?
No.
You should definitely do that because you'll find bigger levels. Like if the king says like, "Oh, you can go to this place now."
Right. I see.
Usually, like there will be like something blocking the way that you're like too small for. And then when he tells you like, oh, you can go to this place now, then you'll be big enough to pick up the objects that are blocking the way. So that's why you didn't succeed last time, because you didn't go where the bigger objects are.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Dustin says, my wife is very excited that Coury's playing a Katamari game tonight, but now she's sitting here criticizing his technique.
Well, it's been a little while, but it's okay. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to make it again. But maybe I will.
You'll start to get it'll get faster and faster. You'll get into a groove. Tori Hanzo asks, does this have a 4-3 mode? That's a very good question. You know, something I can't remember if I mentioned this to you or if I mentioned it on stream. It's something I've kind of had on my mind recently. You know, I set up my NEC VGA monitor downstairs, mostly like just as an extra, mostly because I wasn't really using it where it was previously.
That's close.
And I wanted, you know, I wanted it to be in a place where like, oh, I can use Mr. Stuff. Oh, I could, you know, convert certain systems from HDMI to VGA to use on it. And it made me really curious, like what Wii, PS3, and 360 games have proper 4.3 modes.
Yeah, like, yeah, you had talked about something like that.
Yeah, if you set your system to 480p, because like you know, even though I always played PS3 in HD, but I had the HD CRT at the time, which was 4.3, but I always used the 16:9 mode on it because I wanted to see the full scene, right?
Yeah.
And but like every time I set my PS3 to 480i and connect it to like just a standard CRT, there's like this very warm, comfy feeling about it. You know what I mean? Like, even though I don't have nostalgia for that necessarily, it's just something like, man, I love how like the cross media bar looks in 4.3. Like it's a little bigger, like it's zoomed in, it's kind of chunkier, and I like it. And like I'm really curious, like, because converting HDMI to VGA is so easy. I think it would just be great to like look at like what, you know, how many games, because I was not playing games in 4.3 in that generation. So I think there's a lot of games that have 4.3 modes and, you know, don't just run letterboxed, right?
Right.
That I would never have known that feature existed. Yeah. Even the Wii, I was always playing in widescreen modes. And I've only ever come across, you know, I'm only personally aware of just a handful of Wii games that don't have widescreen mode.
And talk about that Wii. You know, it's that's like exactly the kind of subject that I meant when I said, oh, just like work on, like do some like capture scripting on episodes that might not exactly, you know, that you don't have to do right then. You just like collect material for it. Like that's definitely the kind of stuff that I'm going to be doing in the new year with, like if I'm not actively working on something, I'm going to try to like make sure that I'm always actively working on something, whether or not it's something that's going to be coming out next or not.
Yeah. There was a 199 from James Style just saying wiggle room. I'm not sure if that's in response to something we said at some point.
I think that somebody's been listening to the podcast, to the is my question for you podcast.
Yeah, what was the question?
Oh, it's just I was just talking about this local pawn shop that I keep on, like, because usually when you go in there, it's like I always ask the person if they have any wiggle room on the price, and she said I got wiggle room on everything. Which I think some people may have thought was like suggestive.
It is a funny thing to say for sure.
Yeah.
I see Verictor Diode asked, are the games rendered in whatever they natively run at, then downscale to 480i on PS3 or 360, or do you get some performance headroom using those modes? Only on PS3. As far as I know, PS3 is entirely unique among consoles for actually rendering at a mode. Sometimes, depending on the game, actually like rendering at the resolution that the console is set at. I don't think it's a lot of games that do that, but there's a surprising number that you will get better performance if you run at 720p instead of 1080.
Like that might be an interesting video also. Mm-hmm. Like here's a bunch of games that might.
I mean, John probably knows the whole list off the top of his head.
Yeah, that might be a fun.
I don't know much about which ones though, but no, like, you know, if you're playing 360, Wii U, Switch, you know, modern consoles. You know, John did say that you could argue that PS4 Pro is kind of an exception because some games will render in 1080p if you don't select 4K from the system menu. I don't think it's a very common situation, and that's not a good way to really broadcast their render modes, but it's sort of an exception, I guess, on PS4 Pro in select circumstances.
Yeah, I'm just like intensely focused on like doing this because I'm almost to a minute and like I still have like a ways to go here.
There was 999. Thank you from Franklin Brown.
Thank you, Franklin Brown.
Saying shout out to everybody hoping to get their analog pocket before Christmas like me.
Oh,
you guys been keeping up with the scene, or find yourself booting it up? I can't wait to play some Neo Geo. Peace. You've definitely been.
I mean, I run the auto updater
with
every couple of days.
Yeah, I have not bothered to get set up with that yet. Mostly because I am mostly interested in using it, for Game Boy and GBA and Game Gear. But
the CRTs. I just rolled up a bunch of CRTs.
Oh, they kind of look like the stack of CRTs that's by the entrance to the dungeon in Persona 4.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it though. Oh, there I did.
Yeah, I need to get around to that, but I actually haven't. I was thinking about playing something on the Analog Pocket soon though. Like I was going to look at my Game Boy games to see if there's anything I want to play on them after I finish the episode.
Wait, the what? Oh, on the Pocket.
I was thinking because I'm going to go do some freelance work this week, and I was
you should listen. Just download that one updater that I think I've linked to you before. Just run it, and then it will download everything you need. And all you need to do is put the games in the folder.
How do you run it?
You put it on an SD card, and you just
run it on your computer and then put it back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and it'll download all the cores and all the pieces that you need for it, and then you just put the for arcade games, it'll download all the ROMs too. It's great. I love the interface and just how nicely it seems to run.
I've actually got a 128 gig micro SD card sitting right here that I bought for some purpose a year ago that I can't even remember what it was. So maybe
there you go. That's exactly what you need.
How much space does it currently take up for you?
I have a 200 gig card in there, and you should be able to have no problem putting everything that's supported on there right now because no CD stuff is supported yet.
Right.
Oh crap. I'm barely even paying attention to what's going on here. I'm just going to where it's telling me.
You kind of do have to wander. And
what about the Cloud9 forest?
Where's a new level? Because sometimes you have to search around. It's where's the level I haven't been to yet?
Yeah.
So you should try to remember at least the appearance of the levels that you.
Madonna Sheehy says we need an update on the chicken pillow. How does it?
Oh, I haven't touched it in a week. Let's find out. I doubt it's gotten significantly fluffy.
Let's see that chicken pillow.
Maybe I should ask my mom if she would be confident in being able to stitch this back up if we opened it
and put more in. Oh, look at that!
Put more stuff.
Fresh meat.
Yeah, but it's still floppy.
It's still decidedly floppy.
Yeah, it's floppy.
You
know what I was thinking
I bet
about?
you can open it and put more in it.
It's hard to lay it somewhere and for it to keep form. I was thinking about maybe just taking it putting it in the studio room and find an open space on the wall and just taking a couple of push pins and just at the tip of this just push them and just have a giant piece of chicken hanging on my wall, It would probably also serve to absorb some sound reverberations.
Yeah. Am I going outside here?
Was this last week that we opened it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Feels like a lot longer ago than that. Like every stream, like the past 3 weeks, has felt like 2 weeks apart. Like we've been playing Solar Jetman on
I noticed that
on the backloggery streams, and it literally feels like it's been 2 weeks ago that we last played. Oh yeah, so these like hot and cold.
Yeah, I get what's going on here.
Yeah, they're and it like the temperature is constantly falling if you're not getting new stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like only 2 of these types of levels where there's a different gimmick, and the level is over once it gets, to a certain temperature. But yeah, these were a little trickier. Oh, I think I heard a Chivo pop.
Yeah, that was someone. That was my friend Justin coming online. He's that's Matt McCheskey's brother. Just came online actually. Oh, so this one doesn't actually have a time limit. It's just like it's just how quickly can I do it? I don't want to go in here though, for sure. But I do want to pick up the flames.
Oh, let me.
I'll pick up these pizzas.
I've been using it a bit because you sent this.
Oh yeah. Because it was sent to us. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So you bought one, right?
Yeah, and then that showed up in the PO in my PO box one day.
Color that you bought?
What's that?
Did you buy the same color?
It's the exact same one. Yes.
Yeah. I've been using it while working on the episode. I thought I'd just since they did send a review yet, maybe we should review it on stream, I guess. But
yeah, I really like it.
I haven't used it extensively. I've been using it because it's mostly Switch games in the episode, because really that's like the intended use for these things.
But you should try to slip a shot in at some point.
Oh, maybe. I was thinking about it, actually. But I like have you done any serious D-pad tests with it? Because I was going to.
Not too much.
I was like,
no.
I cannot believe that there is no Contra game on Switch Online.
You could use. Do you have the Anniversary Collection? Or you probably have a from Limited Run.
Yeah,
but
I think it's in an order. Yeah, I think it's in order with a whole bunch of others.
I have it, so I can try it.
So I was thinking about what I couldn't think of what game to test with, but it's really neat. It's like this D-pad literally looks like a Super Nintendo D-pad.
Yeah,
it just straight up is pretty much a Super Nintendo D-pad, but I don't know if it actually works as well. I actually kind of wish it didn't have the paddles on the back.
But that's a big selling point for people now, for sure.
Yeah, I just know that if I actually put any functions on them, that it would be a problem.
Yeah.
But
a little bit too easy to.
It definitely has a more premium feel to it than I thought.
Yeah.
It's very. It's got the top kind of has this eggshell texture to it that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the back has the back feels like the Xbox Series X controllers, which I really like.
So
I don't know all the buttons on the top.
What I like the most about it is the programmable profiles that you can do, because there's a lot of games, and it drives me crazy when Switch games put L and R functions on just the buttons and not the triggers. So I made a profile that swaps them. So it puts whatever's on L and R onto ZL, and ZR. And you just hit that button in the center, and it like automatically switches to that mode. Mm-hmm. Instead of having to go into the whole OS level, because you can do that within the OS. But like I don't. It's more annoying to do that
software, yeah. But I am a little annoyed that there's a Xbox version that has the buttons in the Xbox configuration,
right? But
this is the Switch style one,
yes,
which is what I would want, because since the D-pad on the regular Switch Pro controller is pretty bad. It's like, well, how much worse could this be? So I'll be curious to see if going forward, if I find myself gravitating to this one or the official one. But it does annoy me a little bit that the triggers have like travel distance and aren't just instant click buttons. Because Switch does not.
To be fair, like it engages like immediately if you move them.
Yeah, but it's still not as satisfying as a click, I think. Like the Switch.
Right,
obviously
but
then have analog triggers, so there's no games that are going to be designed for it. So I just like that lack of travel, that instant satisfying click. As someone who's like not like a serious racing game player, like I like the instant click, the instant response. I prefer that, and I like how. Like on the PS5 controller, you can add a click at any point in the controller, if the game is configured that way. But in theory,
Yeah. But I think that like they mainly just do that because they need to like make it so it's compatible with other stuff too. I think that would limit they want you to be able to use it on PC or like
useful mostly only for the Switch, but I still prefer instant click triggers in general, and it's just for Switch there's no need for that. So that's a small annoyance, but once I verify the goodness of the D-pad, that will clinch whether this becomes my main Switch controller or not. I wasn't going to buy one though, because and that was why you were able to send this one to me, because I hadn't bought it.
Yeah,
but I was just going to wait and see what, the next generation Switch controller was like. If it had a good D-pad, then, I would just use that and not worry about this.
Right.
Who knows? So I'll still be interested to see if it does have a good D-pad. I have a hard time believing I would continue using this and not just go to the official one. But this is definitely like a good extra controller to have, like big time.
Right.
And until the Switch Pro comes along, this very well could become my main Switch controller. Well, we will see. I have not put it through its paces. I've just been using it while recording stuff. Because you sent me an extra Switch dock that you had as well.
Yes.
Which, let me tell you, you couldn't have sent it a better time. Because it has been monstrously helpful for this episode. I do have an extra one that I got for like $30 at Goodwill years ago, which was great. But that one stays at my parents' house, so I didn't have that.
What's his deal with Holy Hornbeam? He like loves to say Holy Hornbeam.
Yeah, he
gets like stuck on some stuff.
He repeats himself a good bit.
He what?
He repeats himself a good bit.
Yeah. He just thinks
this is pretty good so far.
Way funnier.
But I've just been using it like to record footage, which has not been, for the most part, they've been comparisons too. So I'm like not doing like active crazy action or anything, So I've not really been putting the controller through its paces. Do you know what the star button and the unmarked button underneath it are for?
The star button.
It's like there's a star
that's like rapid fire. I think if you hold that down, you can like enable rapid fire on any of the buttons.
Then there's another button that has no.
Well, that's the Switch profile. That switches between your profiles.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. It turns off like a lot sooner than the Switch Pro controller, which kind of annoys me a little bit. I don't know if it. I don't even know if the Switch Pro controller even turns off on its own.
I don't know.
Like it seems like it turns off after like just setting it down for like 10 minutes or something.
Oh, well, that's. I mean,
it's a minor annoyance.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal, but it's just like, oh, it's awful.
Press the button. You know, like that's good. I'd rather have it like, you know, conserve battery life that way.
Yeah, but I assume the battery life's probably pretty good.
Well, look at these. Are those
all
Yetis?
that necessary. What with its charging dock and everything. Did you get the version with the charging dock?
Yes, it's the exact same one.
It's pretty slick looking for sure.
Yeah, and it's just nice having that dock for sure. It's nice.
And it's got like a 2.4G receiver.
Yeah, so you can have it connected to two things if you wanted to, and you just switch that switch.
I'm curious if the 2.4G going into the USB on Switch is. Although, we would be
able to wake it then. I mean, if it is any different, like it's going to be so minor.
Am I crazy, or I'm sure the chat can tell me. Have I heard that USB on Switch is like laggier than Bluetooth? Am I crazy? Am I remembering wrong on that? I feel like I might have heard that come up at some point. Which sounds dumb. But.
Yeah.
Zane's dad says that is true. Dingus Glurt says I've heard the same thing.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's just a rumor or how verified that is. That's pretty bonkers, actually. Okay, lots of people seem to be indicating that's true. Aero Monado says for controllers or headphones. You know, I use the headphone jack on the Switch itself.
Do I have to repeat certain levels if I haven't gotten a big enough thing in it?
Huh?
Do I have to repeat certain levels if I haven't done like? Oh, here's one.
Well, you have to beat them. You'll always find a new level.
Okay.
It's just kind of weird how it's not clear like where they are. The new ones are.
Henry Clark says it's true. He tested it for himself.
Well, okay. Oh, Eric Schussler says, try any interest in Dragon Quest Treasures.
Yeah. I forgot that was even like out until I saw that Happy Console Gamer did a video about it.
Yeah, I have not looked at that much stuff on. I've heard it's very much like a kid's Dragon Quest.
Yeah, but I didn't realize it was like about Eric from Dragon Quest 11. What?
It's Eric and Mia.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was.
Yeah, it's like when they were kids.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's actually a pretty cool. Their backstory in the game is pretty good, so
yeah,
it's kind of cool for them to explore that. Yeah. I'm definitely interested. I read something. I don't know how long it is, but I was like, read something. It's like, oh, it's like a much smaller adventure, and I'm like, okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, we're getting to that point. That's one of the things I'm most excited about. Like in that, in the year-end video, we're doing a thing where we're saying here's like 10 games that we're playing in the next year. Like we're committing to play that are already in our collection. Like I'm making sure to like. Yes, it's not going to be games that are like coming out this year. It's going to be games that we already have that we're kind of just like making like penciling it in to be like, hey, I'm going to play this game that I've been putting off for a long time. I'm going to commit to saying I'm going to play this year.
Yep.
Like 10 games. We're each going to list 10 games, and it's kind of fun. I like the idea of like just having this dedicated list going into the year.
Yeah, and if you don't get those 10 games beaten at some point in the year, it's like, you've kind of screwed up.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen, so let's make it happen.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'm working on my list for it, and I'm thinking like I have 5 things picked already, and I'm kind of looking over my list and saying like, well, what do I want to play?
I've definitely, you know what, like I definitely should probably pick a few games for is like I have so many PS4 games that probably wouldn't even be very big commitments that I've probably had for like 6 or 7 years and have not gotten around to yet. Like, I don't know if I'm going to pick this for my list or not, but I've got that like Limbo and Inside collection. Yeah. Like, I played Limbo forever ago on Steam, I think it was. And then, once I got like, that was like sort of on the threshold of like the end of the PS3 generation, beginning of PS4 generation. I was like definitely kind of back and forth between Steam and whoa, I never went in here in this TV studio. This is cool. I didn't know you could go in here.
This is where they filmed Gordy's home.
Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. There's a physical of that. I've played Limbo forever ago, but I've still never gotten around to playing Inside. And that's probably like a commitment of like an evening.
Yeah.
I've put that off for so long.
And there you go. So put that on your list.
Frank Moolah says, what's this, Knack? Which makes me think I need to have Knack 2 on my list.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through Knack 2.
I did too, but it was so many years ago that like I feel like I'd have to restart.
Yeah.
Like I should put Knack 2 on my list.
Knack, yeah.
Knack, yeah.
So how did you feel about the music in this? Like it's decent, but I haven't heard anything as like even close to like a Lonely Rolling Star yet.
I liked it. I was pretty impressed with the music. Wasn't there like one of the levels was kind of a remix, I thought, of Lonely Rolling Star.
Oh, I guess at the same time, like it's harder for me to converse and hear it really closely.
I thought it was quite good, but it's always hard for something to impress when you're so used to you've been used to the greatness of the original music for almost 2 decades, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of music, though, I was like blown away by the music in that Mario movie clip that they played at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Like they had so many callbacks to so many tracks in such a short span of time, and it worked really well.
Yeah.
That clip I thought was really encouraging in many regards.
Yeah, I knew because I was driving in the car. I had the Game Awards like on my phone when I was like driving back from Columbus the other day, right when it was on, and when that played, I wasn't watching it very closely, but I could like listen to it. I mean, obviously I couldn't watch it because I was driving, but I could hear it, and I as soon as I heard that, I was both like really surprised and pleasantly surprised that they're using the music, because like I've said this before, I think I said this to you, that it's weirdly like I kind of didn't think that they would, because like they would use like the main theme, but that's about it, because it always feels like movies like a game like based on games like never use the music. I guess Silent Hill did straight up use the music from the game, but I don't know, like for some reason I just didn't consider that they would use it. And then when I did, I was like really pleasantly surprised and kind of amazed that I actually even doubted it.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, but it works so well, and I hope that they don't like go through every single theme throughout it, like they use, like I hope that they spend more time on like certain themes like later on.
Sure. But yeah, it was impressive. Yeah, the flute guy was he had the passion, man.
The flute guy.
During the big like, which I can't remember what all the nominees were. Like I basically didn't know any of the music in the medley for the game of the year. But there was this one guy who was playing the flute, like a weird looking flute, a flute that not a standard looking flute. More cultural people probably wouldn't think it's so strange though, but it was an unusual looking.
I didn't come close that time.
And it's okay. I failed a good number of times too. You just kind of gotta refocus and go for the big stuff next time.
Yeah.
Like once you can pick up houses, you just gotta go for houses, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I had played so few games. I was really glad that Kirby won the best family game. That was nice for Kirby to win an award.
Yeah,
I
mean, I was working at the time, and you were just like feeding me like information, like about each thing.
No. I wish Xenoblade 3 won the best soundtrack because Mitsuda did a really good job there. Oh, so you starred in the studio?
Oh, okay.
Going in the studio was probably a big waste of time then, though, I bet.
Yeah, probably.
Because, like, generally, you're going to be growing smaller, sticking with old areas once you have access.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitsuda did a really good job on Xenoblade 3. I think... I mean, other people did contribute, but I'm pretty sure he's considered the main composer.
What was that?
Mitsuda for Xenoblade 3.
Oh, right.
I feel that even though I hadn't played the other games that were nominated, it was a really good soundtrack. The boss music in that game is bonkers. Matt says, only new game I bought this year was Stray and I guess Cruisin' Blast. Do you mean those are the only two games you bought, period? Because Cruisin' Blast came out last year. I did not buy a lot of 2022 games overall. And the ones that I did were almost exclusively Switch games. I don't think I bought like... I mean, I guess in recent weeks, I guess I bought some... I mean, I did buy 2022 like PS5 games when they were on sale. But I don't think I bought a new release PS5 game like right when it came out. Well, I got Dealfield Chronicle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Otherwise, like I did not really like I didn't play any I did not play any event games. Like other than like, I mean, I consider Kirby an event. I don't know if the broader industry does. That game was an event to me, but like, the PlayStation AAA machine, like that I was not participating in that this year. Not like intentionally or anything, but it's just what happened. Like, and you know, like I feel like that, I mean, not to criticize, because like I understand why it is the way it is, but like, you know, that $70 price tag is like, I feel, a deterrent that 60 was not. Like,
yeah, I don't think I bought any PS5 games that were like that were $70. I certainly didn't buy any like day one.
No, I don't think I bought a $70 game since. I don't think I've spent $70 on a game since Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I might be there with you too.
Now $60, like I buy Switch games at release pretty often because they don't go on sale as much. I mean, that's really been changing in recent years. But often, especially Nintendo published games, you're not likely to find a deal on like a significant deal, like for a couple of years. So I tend to get Switch games at release pretty often. Yeah, I don't know if it's just like me being, well,
especially when like Nintendo ones, you know that they're barely going to go down in price. Right.
But like, I don't know if it's just like me being like, you know, trying to be more careful with like, look, I'm not going to play this game right away. Like, let's wait until it's $30 at least, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just that, or like, I really do feel like that $70 price tag is a deterrent for me. Like, it's like, man, like 60 I can do if I'm really excited about it, but like 70 would have to be like mega excited. Like,
mega.
Like I feel like I would have a hard time dropping 70 on like a totally original game. Which is bad, right? Like
you should want to be able to get those like right away. I mean,
right. Like I'm saying, like let's say that there's like, you know, some new, you know, big Sony published thing that, you know, it's really big and hyped up and stuff, and it's launching at $70. Like, I think without a prior connection to the series, I would have a hard time spending $70 on. I would, like, if I heard it was really cool, like maybe I'd buy it when it got to like 40 or something. But you keep getting stuck between those buses. But like it, like I feel like if it's something that I'm like not already personally invested in, like I feel like I would wait for it to go down to 40.
Yeah,
at least. Even if it's supposed to be really, really good. And that's like a bad attitude though. Like I should want to buy like original, you know, new IP games, like, you know,
well, yeah, to support them. But I mean, you see what Cloud FF7 says in there is like, but not hesitating to spend money on a like that much money on a retro game.
Right. I mean, I would hesitate, but you know, as prices have gone up, you know, I find myself more and more like, instead of like buying a whole bunch of like low to middling price retro games, nowadays I've been finding myself more like, well, maybe I'll just buy like one or two games. It's a little higher price as a treat to myself, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to new release games, you got that in just under the gun there.
Yeah.
When it comes to new release games, though, yeah, it's like it would have to be like a Resident Evil or a Final Fantasy, you know, type of event game, right?
Yes. Like a game that you are going to pay that money so that you can play it day one.
Day one. I want to play this day one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, I understand why it's 70. I mean, And, especially now that, everything is so expensive, like, obviously they would have had to have started charging $70 by now if they hadn't already. Something I didn't realize, I guess Microsoft first party games had not been $70, and because they just announced that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that seems so weird to me too, because
I guess it's because
I just didn't even think about it.
I mean, they were so focused on cross-gen and still have been, right?
Yeah.
So I guess like they didn't want it to seem like there was a price, because Sony, I don't think, was raising prices on PS4 versions. Like PS5 versions were 70, and I think PS4 versions were still 60, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that cloud does anything, by the way.
Oh.
It's just for fun.
I'm not sure if I can find it.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Yeah, I just think about
Resident Evil 4 Remake. Those are 100%. I will spend $70 on those games. No, day one, play them right away. No doubt about it. But, you know, something like, so if it I should be wanting to support original IP, but like, it's hard to justify at 70. Like, it's got to be something I'm invested in to want to spend 70 on.
Right. Yeah.
That, but again, like, I understand why the price has gone up. Like, it makes sense. But I just hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't deter, original games, like original.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does to an extent.
It probably does, which is unfortunate. But Sony is pretty good at marketing their tentpole games.
Yeah.
So even if they, they've done some.
And you were talking about getting God of War Ragnarok day one. You considered it, and then it just happened, and you didn't get it yet, right? Obviously, you didn't get it yet.
No, and I don't think it's had any deals yet either.
No. And now they announced the Horizon DLC. Like I'm tempted to just like I'm gonna wait for a complete edition, which probably less of a chance of that happening. I know I haven't played the first one, but I'm gonna hope for a complete edition of that before I even consider it.
I see SNK Nostalgia saying I'm on the fence with Forspoken. Haven't played the demo enough. I haven't played the demo yet. I haven't had time, but I did download it. I don't.
The demo, what?
That's from that's being developed, I believe, by the Final Fantasy 15 team, which I was not too on board with 15. Although I think a good bit of the 15 team was on 7 Remake, and that's good. So, so I don't know, but yeah, that one I don't know how that one's going to shake out. I don't love the isekai concept.
Yeah,
that much. Like it can definitely work at times, but in this case, like it kind of feels like they wanted to do it because it was popular. But we'll see. I like Square Enix games. And I like for them to be good. So I'll definitely give it a try. I'm curious about it, but it's very obvious that they want to release it for Final Fantasy 16, because I think Final Fantasy 16 is really going to show it up and be a whole heck of a lot better.
That'd be interesting. I've paid very little attention to Final Fantasy 16.
It looks pretty awesome. And the trailer kind of gave the first look at showing other party members fighting alongside you. And it definitely, there was no HUD in the trailer, but so you couldn't really see how they were executing moves and stuff, but there was definitely some sort of cinematic moments where they were doing a lightning spell or something. So I suspect there will probably be some sort of Final Fantasy 7 Remake-esque system where you can choose to use certain attacks and stuff.
Yeah. You see that donation, right?
Yes, from Tony Escobar, $49.99. Holy crap! What you doing that for?
Thank you.
Thank you. Seriously, wow. With quite a celebratory message here, saying just scored my first CRT, a Zenith Health View, Zenith H20H52DT from the hospital for free.
There you go.
I can't believe you were able to just pick it up at the hospital. I just hooked up my new tiny NES and it worked perfectly. Next, I'm going to be rewatching your Mr. video to learn how to connect analog. Beyond excellent, man. That's great. I don't know anything about the Zenith. I mean, that's obviously like a pro monitor because it was like at a hospital. A Health View must be their PVM brand. I mean, I actually really like the medical tier monitors. In some ways, I kind of almost feel like they're more of a sweet spot than like the higher end ones that support 480p and stuff, because I feel like 480i looks actually better on the ones that aren't like more like BVM or like the high line count PVMs. 480i I think looks better on like a somewhat lower line count monitor. And 240p definitely looks like really crisp on like the 20L5, but this is the other level I think where you have to have a different objective. But I'm thinking of like rings. Like very unclear. I didn't fail this one, so I don't actually know like how.
I gotta pick up how many I need. I don't even know how many I need.
You don't know. So yeah, this was confusing. But I did not fail this one. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Congratulations, that's huge. That is huge. It's huge.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know more about the story of, picking. I bet a lot of people would be curious to know about the story of picking it up at the hospital. Like how, do you work there, or were you just like, hey, got any CRTs in the back room? Because we've gotten PVMs from medical equipment reseller warehouses.
Yeah.
But that stuff...
Those were the days, though, weren't they?
Huh?
Those were the days.
Yeah, and... but it was like... We, whoever these people are, like, they pick up old, unused equipment at the hospital and, bring it to their warehouse. And... actually... and you would hear years and years ago, like you did, you have a friend who works a TV station, or at least worked there back then, and, you were able to get PVMs directly from the TV station. I had some connections with people at TV stations through my old job, and, I talked to some people to ask if they had any PVMs. I didn't have any luck, but, you heard stuff about that, but you don't really hear people talk about like, oh, I got it from the hospital.
82 points. A fair showing.
There was also a $4.99 from Dial Up Chronicles.
Thank you.
Always a fun username.
Yeah, I like that name.
Saying, interesting fact, E.T. was voiced by an old woman who smoked 2 packs a day.
That's like not that. That's not unsurprising.
If that is true, you're right. It's not surprising. I remember seeing
Elliot.
I remember seeing E.T. on my grandma's house on TV and not liking it. And I think that's like the one time I've seen it. And I really need to watch it again. Like, I have no idea how I would like it today. Like, I've always like been afraid to watch it because of that one time where I don't know why. It just like I don't know. It had like a weird vibe about it. Oh yeah, this is the level that
It's
has
got
a bunch
Xbox
of
control and 360s. That's fun.
Yeah. And there's like a whole vault full of them too.
Yeah.
In a previous level, I don't know if there was like a special trigger for it, but like that door opened and there was a whole bunch of gold bars in there. And now they put Xbox 360s in there.
That's funny.
Tony Escobar says, it looks great, but it was a TV and an associated VHS DVD player, separate units I used to connect the tiny NES. And he says, it's a funny story, 1 second. I'll try to keep an eye out for the funny story of how you got the CRT from the hospital.
I feel like I'm supposed to pick up as many of the controllers as possible. It's like,
They're definitely easy to pick up.
Yeah.
Is this the level where he told you he wanted expensive things?
No, that was a while ago.
What did he tell you he wanted on this?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not even reading it. I don't even care what he wants. He's going to get what I give him. Because it's not going to change what I go after, honestly.
Eric Schuessler with $3. Thank you.
Thank
saying,
you.
I don't know how to explain this, but please tell me if either of you can relate to this.
Oh.
PSP games look better than Vita games. I 100% understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think there's two factors in play there. One, all PSP games, to my knowledge, match the screen's native resolution.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah.
And unless it's a 2D game, most like 3D Vita games are not native res.
Yeah, they're like the internal resolution is way lower than.
And and then they don't look that great on the PS TV either.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I could have just gone outside the whole time.
Yeah, you should be paying attention to that. But anyway, the other factor I think
I still did it though.
Ooh. The other factor I think is shadow maps. Vita was from a time where they would have these like global shadow maps and self-shadowing on characters and stuff. So the characters always have like, their hair or their hat is going to have this super jagged, low resolution shadow like coming down on their face and stuff. Whereas they were using more like old school, like PS2 era shadow techniques on PSP. And to me, those shadows just look cleaner. Like, yeah, they're like less realistic and not as advanced, but it's a cleaner look.
Mm-hmm.
I think those would be the main reasons for that. Funny you bring that up. I was actually, before Coury offered to stream tonight, since I've been working on the episode, he was like, maybe I should stream tonight. Would that help? And I was like, yes, that would help. I was looking at like, why am I going to stream? Because I really had no ideas for what to stream. And I was looking at my unfinished games, and I was actually like, I looked at Mutant Blobs from Space.
Oh yeah.
On the Vita, and I was like, oh, maybe I should stream that. And then I looked it up, and apparently it's not compatible with PS TV. I'm not sure if it uses the touchscreen or something. But I got one of the I got it from Carsey. I bought off of Carsey the Vita Katsukity kit.
Right, yeah.
So I actually could stream that, but I have not used that like beyond testing it pretty much. So I could stream that. That might be. Have you ever played that?
I haven't, no.
You have it though, don't you?
I do, yeah.
You know, I don't think I realized that was like a sequel to, I think, a PS3 game, because I believe it was in John's 1080p Dream video. Or maybe that was a port of the Vita game. I'm not sure.
Oh, you know, you're talking about Mutant Blobs from Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it digitally, and then I think I finished it, actually, now that I think about it. Like, it shows how memorable it was. It was like a long time ago. I feel like I finished it like in an airport someplace.
But I mean, it's a drink box game.
Yeah.
And I've liked everything else of theirs I've played. So, granted, though, I think that's only Guacamelee and Severed. I've still not played Guacamelee 2.
But yeah, and I got it. Did you get the physical version that Limited Run did? Is that?
Yeah. I mean, that's
okay. That's the one you were using. Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Because I feel like it was like almost a launch game.
I think it was. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, here, let me catch up on Tony Escobar's story. Okay, he says, funny story. It's been in my office for years, and I swear I've been perusing eBay for CRTs for almost the same number of years. Last week I looked up and noticed it as if for the first time, like in a cheesy 80s romance flick when the heroine takes off her glasses and was beautiful the whole time. I immediately called the head of my IT department and asked if I could buy it. He just gave it to me.
Yeah.
He says,
that's hilarious, because I guarantee you that's like a...
yeah.
That's exactly what it seems like, is like a rom-com, like She's All That type thing.
I'm a pediatric surgeon. One of my partners and I brought in power tools the next day and dismounted off the wall and brought her home. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. So there you go. That's how you get a free TV from a hospital. Be a doctor.
Speaking of doctors, I talked to Matt Lisi on
oh really?
On Discord a little bit, because I just found out that I didn't realize until I saw it in one of Bob's weekly updates is that they have made a Saturn S video cable. And I wanted to get one because that Retro Castles Mister that I have uses the Saturn S video. I'm like, I would rather get like a shielded cable for that than like the crappy one with the reversed audio channels that I have.
Yeah.
So I just sent him a message, and I was surprised. He's like, I've been listening to you and Chris's podcast. And here's my audio and music setup.
You know, he and I, last time we talked, we were talking about shielded speakers, and I was actually thinking of messaging him because I really want to put some speakers near some of my CRTs and FDS, but I'm scared to.
Well, Bob did a whole video. He has I think it's the Yamahas that are pretty good, that are shielded.
Well, I got these Samsung monitor speakers at the Grid, and they looked pretty nice. And I was like, I'm just going to take a chance on these and see if they're shielded. And I
Is this the last level?
No.
All right. I mean, it just feels pretty. That's pretty big.
Pretty big scale. I mean, you're going to be redoing a lot of the stuff that you're doing now on the last level.
Okay.
But yeah, this is probably either the second to last or third to last level, I'd guess.
Okay, I saw some people asking if we could play some multiplayer, and if I beat the game before the end of the stream, we can totally play some multiplayer. I don't even know how to play it.
Wait, there's multiplayer in this?
Yeah, there's apparently online multiplayer.
Oh. I mean, my Xbox is downstairs, but
I can play.
I mean, I could bring it up easily enough, I suppose, if I needed to.
Well, let's see. If I can finish the game, then we'll do it.
Obviously, the last levels are a little more time consuming, and if you fail, they're also time consuming. I mean, I don't mean to poke fun at you if this is, you know, genuinely like your first time seeing Katamari. But like I see Eric in the chat says, "Oh, it gets bigger." Like, I don't mean to laugh at you, but it makes. I'm not laughing at you.
That's like the whole point of the game.
That is like the entire. That's why this series is so. Why I love these games, and that's why I didn't like the first sequel as much, because it was less about making it bigger and more about like collecting like certain things or fulfilling certain gimmick things.
Yeah.
Like that's like what's so cool about the series is like you can start like really, really small and then you're really big by the end.
Yeah.
But I just want to see like a new Katamari game with like, and like on the back of the box it's just got Eric's avatar right there with the words, "Oh, it gets bigger." Oh, Eric says that was meant in a sexy way.
Oh. Well, that too.
I just really like the idea though of someone who's never seen Katamari and they're just watching a stream and they're like, "Oh, it gets bigger."
And like it makes sense.
Oh. I mean, you started this level like smaller than a person, right? And now you're picking up skyscrapers and islands.
Yeah. I don't know. I only got a minute left. It's got to exponentially grow.
I definitely failed my first time on this level.
On this one or the last level?
This one, I didn't like. I should have succeeded on the last level on my first try. Like, I definitely did pretty good because this level is so similar, and so you can kind of like, you know, use a lot of the strategies that you learned for this level in the last level.
Yeah.
But I screwed up on the last level, so like I know you weren't really paying that much attention, but like the whole plot of the game is like something about black hole.
Yeah, I saw something about that. Yeah.
And so you need to plug the black hole. But the king is like, "I'll take care of it." And so I was like, "Oh, okay." So I just like made the Katamari as big as I could and didn't think I had to do anything about it. But like, because he says stay away from the black hole. Like it'll suck you in. So I just kept making it bigger and bigger and bigger, and then time ran out, and he's like, "Well, this is a nice Katamari and all, but why didn't you plug the black hole?" I'm like, "Oh." So I had to do the whole level again, and then just like figure out when it was okay to plug the black hole.
Well, it's gonna be real close if I pull it off, but I don't think I'm gonna.
Oh man, that number is just going so fast though.
I did it. Whew. With like no time left.
You were only at like 450 when it was on 3 seconds. And then you went up 100 or 100 meters in 3 seconds.
Want fries with that? That's what he asked me. Only 28 points. Like, I don't even understand. It's fine. Ooh, A sun. I like that it doles out the achievements 2 at a time. Like every single time, it's like 2 achievements for this much.
Yeah, I feel like the sun is the only planet that he put in the sky that actually looked realistic.
All right, what am I going after here?
I think this is the last level.
This place, again, nice little city. So long way from here to space. Got to start somewhere, so this is the mission. Roll this big in this much time to enter space. From there, roll up lots of powerful stuff for a supergiant to plug the black hole. All we need is a star of unimaginable size, and all cosmos is home free. Okay, so I'm going to be getting that big, and then I'm going to roll it into the black hole at the end.
Actually, you'll at a certain point you'll actually get like 3 bonus minutes.
Oh, okay.
But if you don't reach 10,000 before the 18 minutes is up, then you won't get the bonus minutes.
Okay.
But then during that 3 minutes, you do need to get bigger, but I don't know exactly what the threshold is before it's okay to plug the black hole. Because at first, it's like, stay away from it.
All right. I'll figure it out.
All those people on fire.
I know. I feel so bad for them. Like, this is like their lot in life is to like help jam a black hole. Like you know, you're like saving the cosmos, but like at the like sacrificing like the entire
Earth.
like galaxy.
It's cool though how in this one you're making like the other planets of the solar system. I don't think you do that in the other games. I think you're
You just
mostly
make stars.
making,
I think in the
you're
other.
making stars, yeah. But in this one, it's like you make the solar system, but destroy Earth in the process.
Yeah.
Eric says, "Wait, serious this time? It does get bigger."
I guess it's gonna get bigger than you can imagine. Not the biggest you've ever seen.
Bigger Katamari means you can leave the city. But yeah, it actually turned out to be good in the end that the game's frame rate was uncapped because it can run great on Series
Yeah,
X.
I mean, I think it's kind of amazing that apparently this like chugged because it doesn't seem like it's all that much more complicated than.
I feel like it was a pretty early game though, you know?
Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like the. Didn't the PS2 version like run at 60 FPS, or am I misremembering that?
I think it's 30.
I mean, it's been a long time since I played
30.
it.
I mean, this is not a game that I feel really needs 60.
Right.
So I was quite surprised to see that they even, you know, unlocked the frame rate.
Yeah.
Is it native 720? I think it might. Well, I don't think it's 1080p. But it looks really good. Like 720p just like works. Like 720p and like aliasing, I feel kind of works with the art style, with like the unfiltered, chunky texture art style and stuff. I mean, a lot of games that go for that style do that today too, like stuff like The Tourist.
Yeah.
And what else am I trying to think of? There are several games like that where like the lack of anti-aliasing like actually kind of plays into the art style.
Yeah. I mean, that's a game. Tourist is a game definitely going to play next year, but I'm not going to put it on that list because I know that I'm going to play it anyways.
I was thinking I might, depending on when I go to my parents' house for Christmas, I thought like if I go like a day early, maybe I'll play the Tourist on Christmas Eve.
Oh, there you go. Because of that cruise ship.
I still need to beat Dio Field Chronicle. I've been working on that since September.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing I kind of like about it is like each level is so short that like even if it's like 12:30 at night, I might just be like, I'll do a level. Because it's like that's what's nice about it. I mean, it's definitely like it definitely has like some. I really like kind of the core gameplay that they came up with for it, but it definitely has like some design limitations, I think, in terms of, you can definitely like kind of just like spam your most powerful attacks pretty easily. At least
so are you feeling it's like not super compelling though, like after a while, after you
I mean it's good. I like it. I feel that they could have done more with it. Like I would definitely be interested to see them make a spiritual successor to it with using the same core gameplay but expanding it. It definitely would have been nice to see like I wonder if they constrained it because it's also on the Switch. Like, because the fact that you only have like 4 party members, I mean, technically kind of 8, but like 2 are just like one of them is just like increasing the strength of another character.
Yeah.
But I like it, but like if you could have more than 4 characters on the field at a time, that would definitely be a lot more interesting. But it is good. And I think I know there's only 7 chapters, and I think I'm near the end of chapter 6. Even if I don't finish it, I'm still going to put it on the games we played because, I mean, I played the vast majority of it this year.
Yeah.
But I want to finish it. I actually brought my PS5 to my parents' house Thanksgiving because I wanted to like kind of get back into it because I hadn't really played much of it recently, and I was like, okay, I need to like kind of like have a good chunk of time to kind of reacclimate myself.
I love that the pyramids are rocket ships.
Yeah,
like
the
secretly
run away. Dude and George is asking, playing on platinuming it? I actually might, because it looks like a really easy platinum.
What, Dio Field?
Yeah, because it kind of seems like it might. There's a possibility it might just happen. Because is looking at the trophy list, the only 2 things that seem like I may possibly have to make an effort for is get a character to level 50 and get 1 million gold. And I don't know if the 1 million gold means at one time or just probably not.
Yeah, I'm all about those easy platinums if it's like something that can happen.
Yeah, if it doesn't seem like I would have to do, if it seems like I could get a character to level 50 and get 1 million gold and with like very little effort after beating the game, I'll get the platinum.
Like I platinumed 2 games or maybe 3 games this year, just because they were so easy. Like Klonoa Fantasy Reverie Collection, you just need to beat both games, and you'll like naturally you'll
that's pretty crazy.
Get that. And I platinumed Cotton Rock and Roll. Because all you need to do is beat the game with like every character, and the rest will just like happen. And the game has unlimited continues, and you just continue right from where you're at. So it was extremely easy to get.
There was a notification that Andy64 has been a member for 10 months in a row.
Dang.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Says, hey guys, what retro style games are you most looking for in 2023? Clive and Wrench is on my radar. Clive and Wrench. I don't know. That makes me think of Gunman Clive and Wrench is the name of the bird in Shantae. That's what it makes me think of. I'm going to look it up. Clive and Wrench.
Yeah, I'm curious. Because there's almost nothing that I'm. It's kind of sad that I don't even look at so much stuff anymore. That it's very rare for me to get like real excited about certain things because I don't pay attention as closely as I used to.
This looks like
is that?
Looks like kind of like a Banjo-Kazooie-ish thing with a rabbit and a monkey. Oh, I could get into that.
Hey, little boy, want to buy a monkey?
Let's see what's on my. I mean, I'm actually pretty excited about Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah.
Don't know if Dragon Quest 3 will make it out. I mean, Octopath Traveler, I do feel it is sort of it's kind of a logical fallacy to call it a retro style game. I mean, it is, but it's actually pretty unique. And I think, aside from the battle system, it actually plays more like a Western RPG. It does not, if you're, I'm kind of driven crazy by when you look at people talk about Octopath Traveler, they talk about like it's a JRPG, and it's kind of not. It's very different. The way it plays out is very different. But it is a retro style game, for sure. Let me think. What else? Anyone else got anything on their mind?
What was that game that you said that looked like the Mutationum game that was just announced?
Oh, yeah. Well, it wasn't just announced. I want to say we've seen it before. Does anyone remember what the name of the game that was at the Game Awards? I think we've seen it before. Where it's like it's got this like pixel art style, but the world is like extremely like dense and high res and like realistically lit. Oh wow, Aaron Monado says the retailers I ordered Clive and Wrench from went out of business this year. Not sure if I'll get my money back. Okay, so there's like a physical.
Dang, that's a tough situation though.
Yeah,
is Sea of Stars supposed to be out this year?
What game?
Sea of Stars. That's like that one that looks.
Yeah, from the Messenger people.
Yeah.
I bet it will. Yeah, that game looks awesome.
I like when it suddenly gets this big and suddenly like the game is just like moving real fast again.
Oh wow, Clive and Wrench is a $60 game.
Oh wow.
Like it definitely looks good. But I might roll the dice on waiting for the price to go down. Because games like that, like I feel like usually do go down in price rather than becoming rare. Oh wait, there's a non-collector's edition that'll be $40.
Okay.
That's a little more palatable. Replaced? Was that the name of it? Let me look that up. Is that the one? I think it is. Yeah, this is the one. That looks really cool. I don't know if I'd really call it a retro style game, but it uses a pixel art style for sure. Oh, okay, now you're finally on the view where you're rolling up the continents.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's funny because, like, once it switches to this view, it starts, like, running at a faster frame rate.
Really?
I mean, it just feels like it does, yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, it's possible it was dropping. Oh, we got Joey Gruski as a new member. Oh, and William Holt also became a member. Thanks, y'all.
Gee.
You're picking up like Bangladesh and Uzbekistan.
Yeah. Like all of the like
Ukraine, Iraq, Cairo, Mozambique, Johannesburg, Cape Town.
Oh, it says it straight up says it on the bottom. That's fun.
Yeah. Now, I think some countries though are like in multiple parts though, so it'll tell you picked it up, but it's still in multiple parts. Eric now comments, too big.
It's gonna get even bigger apparently. I mean, how do they like physically like go bigger than what they do in this game? That's the big question.
I mean, they definitely fake it. Like every time that they do that like flash sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get bigger, like they definitely are like loading in and removing like certain smaller objects.
Yes. Yeah, what I mean is like I just mean like, narratively.
Right. I mean, but before you get to this, the world that you are rolling around on is like not even related. Like there's no
it's its own. It's just like loading a new level.
How it's laid out, and then suddenly you go to this and you're rolling up.
Finally, we're in space.
Thematically, it's really cool though, right? Okay, so
I got a 2-minute bonus.
Playing with surround sound or not, but you can definitely, if you have at least stereo, you'll have an idea of where the black hole is. So you want to go away from it. So he says, wait until the Katamari is big enough to plug it, but you don't know. So what I did, I just like I had to replay the whole level, and then I then just like made it as big as I could, and like when about a minute was left, like I went and tried to plug it, and it succeeded. But I don't know. Well, see, the first time I just let the timer run out, I avoided the black hole, and the King's like, "This is a nice Katamari, but why is it still here?" But I swear he said something like I think what he means is he will like go like fight it or something until you're big enough to plug it. I don't know. Oh, there was a $5 super chat from Mega X6.
Danger, get away from here. I see it.
Yeah, so I guess like when he says that, like you don't want to be near it.
Yeah.
And it will definitely like suck you in. But Mega X6 says, of the games they announced, I was really interested in Hades 2, Star Wars, Armored Core 6, and Tekken 8. I definitely thought Tekken 8 was like more visually interesting than Street Fighter 6. Like, I am not the person to judge a fighting game at all, but like, something about like the environments in Street Fighter 6 just look not exciting to me.
Yeah, everyone's talking about that the cover for it. You see people talking about the cover at all?
Well, I mean, the original logo, like they end up changing because it was like a straight up ripoff or something.
No. Like the cover has like this picture of Luke, who is supposed to be like the new main character, right? And he's like making this like Popeye face on the cover, and people are like making fun of it.
Okay,
I guarantee you that he's like, they're gonna change it. Like there's
Oh. Well, people actually compared it to Popeye.
oh, I got sucked in, but it looks like I plugged it. It says marmalade. You finally plugged up the black hole. Nice work.
Oh, okay.
The day is saved. The cosmos thanks you. There's a little grit in the Katamari flag.
I mean, so is this the Armored Core 6? Is that the first one they've done since like From Software became famous?
I think so. Yeah, like really famous. Yes.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, I think 5 was on the 360 maybe.
I was definitely surprised to see that Jedi Survivor, like this was the first gameplay trailer, and it's coming out in like March or something.
Wait, what is?
Pretty crazy. Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Fallen Order, or whatever. Is that what it's called? Fallen Order. I liked the first one. I mean, but I wouldn't pay $70 for it. I wouldn't.
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially since we paid like $15
go down,
for it.
You know, it'll be a good game.
And but if like past situations with like with the first game is any indication, like it'll be $20 in a year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the PS5 version was like almost immediately like $15 or $20. Because, like, I feel like you and I bought it, like, a month after the PS5 version came out.
It was, like, $15. It was, like, $15.
I know.
That version.
And I think I basically got it for free with, like, Best Buy certificates or something. It was, like, it was so cheap. Look at all this celebration that's going on, and you have destroyed the Earth. Like the Earth is nothing but an ocean now.
There's the end.
Oh, it has a really good credits minigame.
Yeah. Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even pay too close of attention to what it was saying at the end there. Refried black beans. Anyway, aren't we like done? What's the holdup?
Great GameSack episode today. Joe's take on Streets of Rage 4 was surprising.
Oh, look at this.
I didn't even check if there was a game.
Yeah, it's a 2D modern 2D games.
Okay, so did he not like Streets of Rage 4?
No, I mean he likes it. He's like it's okay. Like I think that he feels like very similar to like I do. I like Streets of Rage 4. It's not like the best thing ever, but I liked
it quite a bit. But you know, I mean, I know they're totally different games, but I feel like I liked Shredder's Revenge a lot more.
Am I just trying to pick up as many of these things as I can here?
You shoot.
Oh, what am I shooting?
Well,
Oh, I can make them smaller.
You make them smaller.
I like that it very much that title screen looked like a Famicom game.
Yeah. It looked like
a
balloon fight or something.
Yes, exactly. This is cute.
I thought that. Huh?
This is cute. That's what Banana She says. This is cute, and it's like it is cute.
I feel like this is one of the better, if not the best, like credits mini games I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like a vertically scrolling version of like Monkey Balls.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I feel though like sometimes we have a different take than Joe on a lot of like new retro games. Like he didn't like Monster World that much, I don't think.
Right. Yeah, and that but that's fine. Like
of course it's fine. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah. I did appreciate that he liked the Secret of Mana remake. And that's something that I think I did that in one of the early games we played episode, and that I liked it. I mean, I had no problem at all with it. Like it wasn't like amazing, but like it certainly wasn't like worth the amount of like vitriol that was like put towards it. I guess.
I mean, I've played very little of it myself, but I mean, it's fine. Drum and Lynn and I have talked about playing through it.
You should.
You know, something that's a game I played this year that I learned about from, I think it was Joe's games he played episode last year, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Was...
I don't know if he's going to do another one of those this year.
Hot Shot Racing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that was the game I was playing when you ate
When I ate the chip. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Madashi says Nier is a 2023 play for me. You know, I should put
the first one, or Automata.
I don't know, but I need to put Automata on my.
Oh yeah.
List.
Yeah, you do.
And I need to also, like, as an addendum to that, like, commit to getting more than one ending, because I know people will say, "Oh, you haven't really played it until you get." Like,
yes, you can't just like do that first one.
Well, you did just the first one. You didn't love it that much, and then you like went back to the game a long time later, and like it finally clicked.
Yes,
which you should have known better because you played the original Nier.
I know.
Although I did.
You die?
Did you die?
I died. I got pushed off the screen.
Oh my gosh. Depressing.
Even good guys blow it.
All right, I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna run to the bathroom, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, but I need to prioritize Nier Automata. Definitely need to put that on there. I don't know how many endings you really need to get for like people to like say like, okay, you can call it beat. I definitely did not get all the endings in the original game, the PS3 version. I do have the replicant number, whatever, blah blah blah, but I haven't played it. Too big, Coury. Too big. Where's Sandy? Where is Sandy? Sandy? Where's Sandy? Hi, Sandy. Come say hi to the stream. Look, Coury beat Katamari. Sandy, look over here. Come look at this. Oh. Oh. Look, here's the stream chat. Oh. Oh. Oh, there's a fluffums. There's a fluffums. You still smell pretty good from your nice bath you had. Mm. Oh. Let's get comfortable here. Mm. Mm. Eagle girl.
Well, all you have to do is press the A button.
Hello. I just like imagine that as like a comment on a video or a stream, you know, that's like you totally screwed up on doing something really obvious. And someone just leaves a comment and says, hello. All you have to do is press the A button.
Fab.
So I didn't. There's a bonus level, and I didn't like it very much. It's exactly the same as the last level, except you're rolling around the king himself, and you have to like collect. He keeps changing his mind on what things he wants to collect.
Oh.
And you have to collect those things for him to grow. And it's just like it's just incessant king talking.
So there's versus battle and co-op. Is the online? Is it like?
I don't know if this game auto saves. There's like a save hut.
Oh yes, I'll do that. Good call. Bless you. There we go.
Yeah, you have to get riled up about the sneezing.
So how do we play multiplayer? If I go to online, not connect to Xbox Live, unable to. I don't understand. Like how am I? How am I not connected to Xbox Live?
Well, people said that this has been a problem for 360 games. I don't know what's happened. It's amazing how quickly you beat this, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, you did it in like 2.5 hours. Less than that. You didn't
hopefully
push it
my
in 2 hours.
360 Live is down right now. Okay. In that case, should I play something else that's on the XB joint that we got here?
Yeah, why not?
Hey,
we got a $4.99 from Madonna Sheehy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, I beat Persona 2 Innocent Sin tonight right before the stream started. I wanted to share my excitement for finishing my first Megaton game. Nice. I have not played pre-Persona 3.
You did it!
I've not played any of the versions of 1 or 2. But very nice. I don't know much about those. I'm a little afraid of going back to those. You know what? You know, it's unfortunate because I keep wanting to put games that I know are going to be really long on my games to play next year.
Yeah,
I should put Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne on my list of priorities for 2023 because I was actually given the PS4 version.
Oh, okay.
And I feel bad that I haven't gotten to it yet, and I need to connect to commit to a like true mainline Megaton game. I did play like maybe 10 to 15 hours of SMT4, but couldn't quite get into it.
So all the way up at the top.
And I may as well wait for the next for whenever the next Switch comes out under the assumption that backwards compatible games will run better because I hear SMT5 doesn't run that great.
Am I just missing nights here? Like I don't see it here.
I still have not. Are you like organized by like platform?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it. There it is.
Oh, can you play Christmas Nights on it?
I think so.
Oh.
And I think that this version is like the best one because it runs at 60 FPS.
Well, Madashi says that's in my husband's top 5 favorite games. I assume that's Nocturne. That one is very popular, I think, among like that's the
third one, right? Is that 3?
Yeah, I mean it's the third numbered
Shin
Megami Tensei, but there's like so many different spin-offs and everything. I mean, my understanding is that I don't think any of the Persona games are actually branded SMT in Japan. I don't know if that's true that none of them are, but like
do I have to? Maybe I have to beat the game.
Starting with Persona 4 Golden, they stopped putting the Shin Megami Tensei on the boxes. Like Persona 4 PS2 says Shin Megami Tensei. I bet it's one of these. But I think they were just like, not that Shin Megami Tensei is like massively popular over here or anything, but I guess they were trying to grasp it like just something to make it popular, I guess. Yeah, I don't think, I mean, I think it's like similar to like, you know, like a Squaresoft game that has like Final Fantasy spells and stuff in it. This looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Like it looks kind of like it looks somewhere between like Saturn and Dreamcast. Yeah, Nocturne would be a pretty big thing. See, another thing I was thinking of was...
I didn't mean to do that.
I'd kind of like to put on the list is Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm several years behind on Fire Emblem. But like again, like I keep wanting to put these like really long games on it. And that seems dangerous.
And that's kind of the thing, right? Like you don't want to, you want to be able to play these games, but it's like if you do that, are you like overdoing it? So this is our first year doing it, so we should probably try to do something like within reason.
Yeah, like maybe like 5 long to medium length games, and then like 3 things that like should not be crazy.
Right.
And like, you know, something that I should definitely prioritize are like a few like retro games that are like not games I would likely stream, because I feel like I often put those off. Like I will, like I think of retro so much as like stream time games.
Yeah.
And like I play more modern or semi-modern like off stream. Like just because like I enjoy streaming retro games generally more than modern games. And so I'm always thinking like, well, I gotta save the retro games for stream.
Yeah, yeah.
And I often like just like don't think like, oh, like, well, this is a game that like it probably wouldn't be really something to stream. So I should just play it. I mean that's why I wanted to put Lunar 1 and 2 on there.
Yes, I'm happy that those are on there because, you know, we've been saying it for a long time.
I know. I definitely think I'm going to put those on. And those aren't that long anyway.
No.
Right?
You'll be surprised at actually how short they are. In my mind, they're a lot shorter than, or a lot longer than I remember them being, too. Or, I mean, they're a lot shorter than I remember them being.
There was a $5 from Dad 1153 saying, playing games made by convicts now? Free knockout. I mean, do we even know if he's like actually in jail? Or
I think that I think he's in jail now, because what happened was like he.
I mean,
he got arrested, and I think he got out on bail, and then he got arrested for doing it the same thing again, like with another game.
Oh.
So he got rearrested after like getting out, like on bail or whatever for that on the first one.
Oh gosh.
I know, it's really it's sad. I think.
Hopefully, Yu Suzuki never has the downward trajectory that Yuji Naka had.
I know. Like,
I mean, Yu Suzuki's still considered a cool guy, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
I mean, I don't think Shenmue 3 lit the world on fire or anything, but
no. But I mean, like, I feel as though like I'd be really sad if it was like I can tolerate Yuji Naka, like being, you know,
yeah,
like,
I mean,
like a piece of shit. Like I can tolerate that, but I don't think that I could tolerate Yu Suzuki being like horrible. I would be really sad about that.
Yeah, like Yuji Naka's like almost. I mean, it's sad to say, but I mean, he's almost funny now.
What? It's almost
funny. It's almost funny. Like,
I know
it's
sad as it is, but it kind of almost is. Like, I mean, everybody's made a joke out of it now.
Yeah. I mean, it is sad though. But, you know, I clicked through a bunch of Balan Wonderworld deals that I saw over the course.
You didn't quite get that? You didn't get it?
Like every time I clicked the link, like this didn't usually happen with the things that I was like, ooh, let me look at this deal.
It was sold out.
It was every time it came up, it's like, oh, here's the PS5 version. I click on the link and it's like, nope, you only got, you know, these other versions and they're more expensive. Or, you know, oh, the Xbox version now, and I click on it and it's gone. And they were like, it was like $2.
I know. I mean, like, why would you not?
Why would you not buy Balan Wonderworld for $2? It's like, I feel like it's culturally significant at this point. You know?
It's funny how that works out, right?
Like it's there's no way a game of that kind of just notoriety is not worth $2.
Right.
But like it kept being sold out, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay $7 for another version. I wanted the version that was $2. It's gone. I don't remember these overhead parts. Was this in the Saturn version? This overhead stuff?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't remember this at all.
I don't remember how to get out of here though. I'm going the wrong way. I'm following the.
Yeah, John basically liked Balan Wonderworld, and you didn't hate it.
No.
Did you ever beat it?
No.
But you didn't hate it.
No. That was close. I ain't very good at this.
You are. Oh, you ain't.
I ain't very good at this.
For some reason, that just took me back to this one time in middle school. Not middle school, elementary school. Let's see, what would it have been? Probably 3rd grade, I would say. And the teacher asked a trick question. It said, what is ain't a contraction on? And this one girl like really enthusiastically raised her hand. She's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And the teacher's like, yes. She goes, ain't and not.
Close.
The answer is, it ain't a real word. But I feel like it is a real word. You know?
Well, it is at this point to an extent.
It is.
I'll tell you though,
I use ain't all the time. I mean, I know it's not a word to use in proper, fancy pants conversation, but who do I have fancy pants conversations with? No one.
I don't know.
I write the word ain't in my scripts all the time.
Yeah. I say it all the time. My wife gets real angry when I say it, like around the kids though. She's like, I don't want the kids to use it.
Well,
because she thinks it makes me sound like a hick or something.
Yeah, well, I'm allowed to say it though because I'm from North Carolina.
Right, because you are a hick. From this,
I mean,
not really, but you know what I mean. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, obviously.
I eat my Bojangles. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandy was talking about something. I think it was just because I was laughing. She's like, ooh. I want to know what we making noise about. I want to make noise too. There was a $1 from Eric Schusler. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna play something else because Christmas Nights is not.
Oh, it's not in here.
I mean, I think. Oh shoot. I think you can change the date of the system to unlock it, but I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah. Anyway, Eric Schusler says Takashi Iizuka of Sonic Team said in an interview I cannot read right now. Takashi Iizuka of Sonic Team in an interview has said that because Knights exists in the dreams of the characters in the game, if you were to see Knights in your own dreams at night, then you'd have met the real Knights. I think it's a very sweet sentiment.
It totally is.
That's kind of really true. Sweet. If you dream about Knights, then you've met the real Knights. That's that's kind of awesome if you think about it. I don't think I've ever dreamed of Knights though.
Yeah, I have.
But now I want to.
Yeah. You know what it is that we were just talking about, Shenmue. That is on my list for next year.
Oh, the first one.
The first one.
It should be on. I was thinking as we were talking about Yu Suzuki earlier. I was thinking maybe I should, but I'm afraid of that game though. I'm afraid of it.
Why?
It's
like it seems like it'd be right up your alley, being like a time management game.
Yeah, but it's daunting. I feel.
I bet it's less than 20 hours.
I don't know. Let's see if we can get some data.
Should I play some Rumble Roses XX?
Sure.
That's like I gave you a clip of that for like an episode. I don't remember what episode it was. You're like, it's like so hard to find like less than 10 seconds that is like appropriately usable.
Yeah, that was true. Shenmue. Oh yeah, it does look roughly 20 hours. It looks like Shenmue 2 might be a bit longer.
Should I play the opening of Saints Row the Third Remastered? I got that at a pawn shop.
Sure. I mean, you were trying to get me and Drum to play the 360 version
of 4, right?
I don't know which one it was, but then I don't remember why we.
Do I have 4 on here, don't I? You must say I have it, but is it Reelected? Reelected was just switched over to be to.
It was a 360 game that you told me to install.
Right. Let me grab the game over here. Or you know what? Or should I just? Did I play Crackdown on stream at all? Have I played that on stream before?
Yeah, you have, but
Okay.
why not play it again?
I mean, it's just so stupid. It is just so stupid. No, please, no. Should I? Does somebody want something else? I can play like the beginning of Saints Row the Third, or I can play Crackdown 3.
What the heck is Astroneer?
I got that one on clearance at Target. I've heard that it's like fun, like kids have fun with it. It's almost maybe like Minecraft-esque Saints Row. Okay, let me go grab it.
Well, Jay Garcia, you'll be disappointed because Coury was it last year that you played Crackdown 3?
That's in the games we played this year.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. Yeah, it's good. Coury loved it. But of course you would, because Tim Rogers also did.
Well, I mean, I like the first two also. I mean, I like it because it's like beyond stupid. Like that's the stupidity is the point.
Yeah. It looks like a slightly outdated game, and it's really stupid, and both those things appeal to me.
Yeah. So I guess, but I mean, like we can't do anything about language on stream. I can't help that it's an M-rated game.
We don't usually let game content hold us back from what we play that much.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to screw it. I can turn down the game audio some. I mean, I'll just do like the intro.
I don't know that much about these.
Well,
games.
they rob a bank at the beginning, and they're like wearing like gigantic heads, like helmets that are giant heads.
I mean, these games are supposed to be really stupid.
Yeah, I mean that is the point.
I've just never been that interested because I mean I am going to try Crackdown 3. Was it you that picked that up for me because you found it really cheap somewhere?
Crackdown 3? Yeah, I mean I got it for real cheap too.
Yeah, I mean I'll play it sometime, but I've never been super into, you know, sandbox open worlds. Haha, look at all the goofy stuff that I can make happen. Like that's what always kept me away from GTA, is because that I know that there is like a.
You reading this intro?
I
mean, I've never played the first two, but I feel like they were like semi-serious, like
I think
semi.
It was
like,
when I first heard people like talk about them.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I have a digital version of the first one.
You know, just before the stream.
Well, aliens come in the fourth one. Like in the fourth one, they're like inside like the Matrix, but it's controlled by aliens. Like that's what it gets to.
Here, Sammy, why don't you get down off my line? Oh, I thought you wanted down. You're looking at me like, why'd you do that? Now I feel bad. Saints Flow. Is this Sunset Overdrive?
This is a lot better than Sunset Overdrive, I think.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
It's definitely funnier.
Japanese commercials. Easiest
prohibited in California.
No worries. I do my own stunts.
So, is this a current gen port?
Yeah, it's like a remaster, like a actual full on remaster of it.
I want to say I heard that the new Saints Row is like not quite as goofy.
I don't know why they would do that. I mean, probably because they had nowhere else to go after being in the Matrix controlled by aliens. Like, what do you do to top that?
Cut Josh some slack. He's just researching his part.
Yeah, I hope he signed a waiver.
All right, people.
But what's funny is like they are like criminals in this, and then at the beginning of the fourth one, they're like working with the government or something like that, or I don't know, like they're undercover or something, and then like the main character becomes president of the United States.
Is the fourth one the new one, or
no? It's like
the new one's just called Saints Row, right?
Right.
I hate that.
Yes.
Oh, that's different.
Like whoever thinks that's a good idea? Like who in the right mind would ever want that?
Well,
unless it was a remake.
Right, and also like if the series was like doing bad. Like the way it is, like it seemed like it was doing just fine.
Yeah.
But this does have co-op on it.
Yeah. Is this on Game Pass or do you just have it?
I have it. I got it at a pawn shop for like, I think it was like $5. And it's fairly new. So
right. So this is a current gen version.
Yes. These games have really good licensed music too. That kicks in at like times where like something like really awesome happens.
I don't know if you maybe need to turn the music off though for streaming.
I don't think that there is any like at the beginning here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not gonna like it's not like we getting demonetized on the screen like takes away anything.
You know, I don't know if it puts you on the list.
Well, I don't think that there's anything to worry about.
But anyway,
okay, I can't even hear it. Like it's already turned down a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I can turn on subtitles then.
Frank Moolah says, "Try. I think you mean reboot, not remake." Well, I mean, it can be annoying when reboots also just use the plain name of the original too. That's also annoying because then you always have to say, you know, Doom 2016,
yeah,
Tomb Raider 2012, or whenever the heck that came out. You know.
No way we're cracking this thing. Ready for plan B?
Like,
yeah. I mean,
and then
yeah,
the sequels to, you know, then you've got Doom Eternal, you've got Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Why couldn't the first one have been something of the Tomb Raider to have a nice, neat symmetry of, you know, all those titles for that trilogy? You know, that'd been nice.
We'll need to set those above the vault.
Hey, I think we've got company.
I mean, gameplay wise, there's not a whole lot that sets it apart. It's just if you think the kind of stuff is like in this game is funny, it's like then it's funny. I mean, it is much funnier than like other like supposed like.
Mm-hmm.
funny.
I guess
third-person
sometimes though, I guess with Tomb Raider it did make sense though, because Tomb Raider was not that popular anymore, and the past several games hadn't been considered very good.
Yeah, it's just dumb for them to have done it with this because it doesn't feel like these were
unpopular. But then
Yeah.
like if you just call the game Tomb Raider and like completely redesign the character, and people will have a lot of nostalgia for like the first couple of games, then yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Hey guys, call up the helicopter. It's on the way to Oklahoma. Don't touch it.
I guess it makes sense, but it's still annoying.
What is that?
I guess it makes sense, but it's still annoying for collection and conversational purposes.
Yeah.
How long until the chopper gets here?
Like Donkey Kong 94. I always call it Donkey Kong 94.
Yeah, everyone calls it Donkey Kong 94. Which I think would have been a cool name to just call it that, honestly.
Yeah,
Like Donkey Kong 94, that'd be a great title.
and they can. If they did it now, they probably would have called it that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill Marc if I see him again.
I thought you two really had something there.
Oh, don't even go there.
Just saying.
How do I melee? Is it? Oh, it's the clicking the right stick.
Frank Moolah says, I think the reboot of Tomb Raider.
Look at this dude. Look at him. He's just, hey, what's going on? Just hanging out, chilling. He has a pretty good view.
Frank Moolah says, I think the reboot of Tomb Raider was craftily done, but Shadow of the Tomb Raider wasn't my favorite. You know, I, on the other hand, really liked Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and you were kind of disappointed by it too.
Right. But I love the first one.
I liked the first. I mean,
The
I've
first
only
one
played-
it's a similar situation to Arkham Asylum, where I felt like the first one was like pretty. It felt open world, but also at the same time it wasn't. It was more like Metroidvania-esque,
Mhm.
and then
See,
it becomes completely open world in the next one.
I disagree. I do not think Shadow of the Tomb Raider was open world at all. I did not think it was open world at all. It was a larger scale, but it was, I thought, very much the same sort of design as the others. I liked it a lot. And you know what I think I really liked about it was, you know, I played Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I was really disappointed by that.
Yeah, I did not like that either.
I felt like it was just like the most visually uninteresting game that I had like played almost ever. Like just not an interesting looking game, and there were a lot of little things that I was just like, I don't know. And then I was like, I want to see what kind of jump Shadow of the Tomb Raider is.
Yeah.
So I like put that in immediately, and I'm like, man, I think I might just play this right now, even though like I literally just an hour ago beat the previous game. And I think what it was, what really hooked me at the beginning, and I think this sets it apart even from the reboot as well, it's like it's just a very colorful and visually interesting game.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because, you know, I think you've got the same situation with Crystal Dynamics' Avengers game and Eidos Montreal's Guardians of the Galaxy game. Like, Eidos Montreal is like just artistically has a lot more going on than Crystal Dynamics, I think. like Crystal Dynamics, I've kind of come to realize like
well, it doesn't even matter anymore.
They're very technically competent, but their art, their sense of art is not that great. And I thought Shadow of the Tomb Raider was just a much more interesting game to look at. And that drew me in. and I also like. I actually Shadow of the Tomb Raider, if anything, was maybe almost a little too reserved in its combat scenarios. Like I felt like the game could have used like maybe about 2 or 3 more like really good like combat scenarios. It had a lot of focus on like in terms of side content, like finding like the hidden tombs, which were all like really visually interesting.
So in the end of the year video, I recorded my Chubbins segment.
Oh, you're doing
it's in there. I say specifically that viewers of our stream would like be really upset if I didn't talk about Chubbins. And every time I say Chubbins, I do like a pitch shift in my voice that says Chubbins. And I say that Chubbins like has joined like Karnoff and Fuse as games that we love to talk about but don't want to play.
I mean, Karnoff is not that bad.
No. I don't want to be this guy.
I almost I almost put a clip of Karnov's Revenge in the episode I'm working on. Is that what it's called? The Neo Geo game?
What was it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But Neo Geo fighting games can be, unless you unless you put a second controller in, which I didn't feel like doing. Like fighting games are hard to use for comparisons, especially because they also like loaded random levels and stuff. Because like when in the Mister episode, I did some Neo Geo fighting levels, and it was a big pain. I see you got really intricate with your character creation.
I know. I made him 100. Look like his. Suppose I put his age up to 100, and then I didn't change anything else.
He doesn't look 100.
I know, but that was what the option was.
Oh man, Super Chubbins! Could you imagine like someone making a Chubbins game?
Yeah.
For like actual retro consoles. No one makes indie Super Nintendo games though. Like it's all NES and Genesis and Game Boy. I think because of dev tools. I don't know why no one's made Super Nintendo dev tools. I mean, if they have, no one's using them.
Any idea who you're fucking with here? Of course.
Like just watch it. It kind of makes me just want to play this a little bit more. I don't know why it's so stupid.
You should. Oh, you've not played much of any of them, right?
No, I finished 3 and 4.
Oh, you finished this? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I finished it originally. Yeah, I mean, I finished 3 and 4. Like I played them both co-op because you can play online co-op with it.
Chubbins 2, Satan's counterattack.
I know. I mean, the Chubbins bit.
The Chubbins bit.
Like I talk about it, and it's Chubbins. I feel like I can put.
How long is the Chubbins bit?
Oh, I mean, like almost no game is like longer than like a minute and a half or 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how much more work do you have to do?
I mean, I still have to do a lot of editing, but I have like all the footage I need. I have like everything digitized that I need or recorded that I need, and maybe a couple of B-roll shots like throughout, and I mean, I just got to edit them. Like I have all the VO recorded.
Do you have it strung out? Do you know how long it is?
I don't know how long it's going to be, but for comparison's sake, my script of like what I have is like 16 pages. It's probably like when it's all said and done, it's probably going to be like 17 pages of stuff. Like when I do my ending bit and stuff.
Does that include my stuff that's written?
No, I did it like I ended up doing all my stuff like on a separate document.
Oh,
Because I just felt like it was too chaotic in the one that we had, so I recorded it. Or I wrote it like on a separate document, and then I'll like insert it in.
yeah. Insert it because I'll want to see, see if that helps me understand like where I need to put stuff.
Does he have like tights on? Look at that like nicely shaped buttocks.
Who, your character?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right? It's just like it's surprisingly detailed.
I mean, it looks like he's got a wedgie.
Yeah, right?
Like a big time wedgie. I was recording some of Daniel Carrington from Perfect Dark for John wanted some alerts.
Oh.
He's like the M equivalent in Perfect Dark, right?
Yeah.
And like I had to go what I figured out was the things that he says seems to change depending on like what the last mission that you finished was. And I was like trying to get him to say one particular thing. And it took a lot more work than it should have to get the alerts. But so I kept going in and out, but like half the time, like if you just stand there watching, he's like reaching behind him to like pull a wedgie out. like if you just stand there and watch him, he's just like doing that like constantly.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising. I wouldn't expect like that to be like.
I mean, Rare is like very much into like very British humor and stuff.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, there was the Rare website had like a mailbag section, and it was like nothing but very British humor, and it was pretty great. There was a question from Griffin asking what are our thoughts on the Need for Speed series. I mean, I have no experience with it.
I want to play that new one. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I played the first one a whole bunch. I really, but I haven't played a lot of them like outside of like the Hot Pursuit ones, like Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. I played a bunch. I had that on the PC actually. And like I have Hot Pursuit 2 on the PS2.
This is like kind of crazy what's going on right now.
Yeah, right? Does it kind of make you like interested a little bit? Maybe.
Yeah, I guess. Is it open world? Like I always
once you get into the actual
like I thought
game, it is
like that kind of like.
I mean, it's like a jokey, over the top GTA, but like more silly.
Yeah, I mean this is pretty silly right here.
Yeah.
Sure.
All this stuff, and I'm pretty sure that he like lands and he's just like, I don't know, like in the fourth one he disarms a nuclear missile like being launched, and then he jumps off of it, and then he like ends up like falling through the ceiling of the White House, and then they like make him the president.
I mean, you keep saying he like.
I mean your character.
So is it?
You can create a character. It can be.
I mean, you create a character, but is it assumed that your character is the same character from game to game?
Yeah.
Okay. So your character is like fully voiced and stuff.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
Like, why is the whole? This is the plate he fell out of.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't lie. This makes me want to play.
It just keeps on going. And he's still trying to save his friend here.
Like, I feel like if the new game doesn't do stuff like this, people have to be really disappointed.
Yeah, right?
Like, why even bother? Like,
If you're not going to try to one-up this, yeah.
Like,
And-
why even make a sequel if you're not going to make it goofy? Because, like, I remember, I do nothing about Saints Row 1 and 2, and I remember when this game was new on 360 and PS3, like, people were talking about, like, this game was a pretty big deal.
And like as Hades Hot Gun says, it's also co-op all the way through.
Mm.
Which is, that's pretty
Online
cool.
only or local?
I think it's online only. But I don't know. I can't say for sure for this version. Maybe this one has
That
local.
that would be typical of the time for
Yeah.
non-Nintendo systems.
I mean, I think it's just because it's open world that would be difficult to do.
True.
But I mean, Crackdown is open world. You can't play that local though. I don't know if you can with the first or second one if it has local co-op.
Was that $1 billion you tried to withdraw?
Yeah. Okay, so it's only online.
Oh wow! Apparently there was a Game of the Year debate on Giant Bomb between this game and Skyrim.
Which is, I mean, it puts things in perspective, right?
It does.
That was even a discussion.
Yeah. I mean, Skyrim was, definitely a janky game, but I mean that's also, I think, part of the appeal of the Bethesda games, because you can like push at the boundaries of those worlds and they start to come apart at the seams, but it's so interesting what they allow you to do. Which I guess same thing with this, right?
Yeah.
Really high the last time I was here. Just drop. I'll come back to it.
Did you watch that that DF play that John and Alex did of some what was it like?
What is this person doing? She's like dancing.
Or something. I forget. It was like a PS2, GameCube, Xbox era game. It was like actually like surprisingly interesting looking.
Wait, what? You don't remember what game it was, though?
I don't remember what it was. Okay, Eric Schussler says True Crime New York.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
It was actually doing some like really shocking things for the generation.
Yeah, that was on it was on Xbox, right? Did they play the Xbox version? Or they play the PC version?
Xbox or PS2.
Okay.
Or maybe it was GameCube.
Because there was two True Crime games, wasn't there? Like True Crime, like
I think
New
so.
York and Los
Like,
Angeles. or
during
something?
that generation, there was a lot of
Everyone was chasing that GTA.
GTA, and like I think most people just like assumed they weren't any good and didn't play them, but like then you go back and look, it's like, oh, these games are actually doing some interesting things.
I don't know what I'm trying to do. Am I following this person? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be taking this person down?
I don't recall seeing this game come up on any like Black Friday deals or anything.
I mean, it's got. I bet it's like only $20. I mean, it's been out for a little while now.
Saints Row the Third. It's on
Remastered.
Switch too.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like
I'm sure it's yeah. I mean, I don't think that'd be a good version to get. Is there no? Oh, weird. It's like hard to find on Amazon.
really.
Like it's mostly bringing up like PS3 and 360. There's a $30 Xbox version, but it's the Peggy version.
Oh,
Maybe they didn't make a lot of physicals with this. Let me look at Best Buy.
all right. Access supplement.
Oh, they have it on the Xbox version on clearance at Best Buy, but it looks like you can't get it online. You have to pick it up, but it says unavailable nearby. There's a PS4 version though. Is there no native PS5 version of this one?
I don't think so. And I think this is Xbox Series X enhanced. I think too.
Well, it says PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 on the PS4 version, so I'm guessing that means that it has a free upgrade, but you don't get a native version on disc. Huh, I'm surprised how it seems to not be easy to find. Oh, why?
I don't know. I don't know why that happened. Maybe the game doesn't support HDR. No, it's HDR. I don't know why it dropped out.
Oh, so you're playing in HDR and it's tone mapping?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sleeping Dogs, like that is my GTA. That's like the closest thing to a GTA game that I've played all the way through. I mean, I've played through Red Dead Redemption, but I'm talking in terms of like a city atmosphere. I really you've never played Sleeping Dogs, have you?
No.
It's really good. It's got FPS boost on backwards compatibility.
Oh.
It's really good. It's what's kind of cool about it is it's got this like Arkham Asylum style combat.
Oh, that's cool.
And you like rarely get guns. So it's always like kind of like a moment when there's like an actual mission where you use guns.
Yeah, that's
because
cool.
For the most part, it's a more of a brawler.
Yeah. Oh, did Nelly enjoy her time at the spa? She had a great time. She looks so good. She's like so like cute. I can't get enough.
She actually like is excited to go.
Yeah, I mean she has a great time there. I think she had a hard time at first. Like the first couple of times, she didn't want to let them like do anything with her like around her face.
Yeah, that's what they said about Sandy.
But as I think as they get used to it,
she didn't like them touching her, which is what I like. Like the vet has always said that she doesn't like when they touch her ears. There was $2 from Ben Brody.
Oh,
What is your
thank you.
favorite 7th game? Mine is Final Fantasy VII. That would be hard to top.
Yeah.
That would be hard to top. I mean,
If it was
okay,
8th game, I would say Ys 8. But I think that I like Final Fantasy 7 more than I like Ys 7.
I mean, it's for series that.
What
don't-
about Sword and Fairy 7? Maybe that is
I
eventually.
doubt it, but who knows? I mean, it's I think the previous time he asked, "What was your favorite 3rd game?"
Or
And that's
I
like-
think it was 4th
that-
game.
Okay, but even then, that's easier to like think of. Okay, what's the 7th? Like, there are some series though where like
They stopped. Yeah, a lot of series
they
will
don't use-
never like put a 4 in their title. Like they stop after the original trilogy, they will stop putting like numbers in there. That's like true for like a lot of movies too.
Yeah, but like there's some series where I know like in fan conversations they will still refer to them by numbers. Like, well, like Ys is an example where they like stopped doing numbers for a brief period.
Well, no, I mean, Ys Origin, I guess, and Ota Falgana. Like it's just like the remakes usually, I guess, don't.
Well, but
have.
they never used 6 for Ark of Nepishta. I guess you're right, really, because did they use 5 for Ys 5?
Yeah,
Did they number that one? Okay.
yeah, and 6 has the number on there. But I'll tell you what I hate about Ys 7 is that the title of the game is actually Ys 7, and it's the word 7 spelled out. I hate that so much.
I actually kind of like that.
I really it really annoys
Like
me.
the way that came out of your mouth, like there was a little more poison in those words than
I know. It's like it's always annoyed me.
Like you were like, oh, I hate that. Like that really came up like from your bile duct there.
Yeah, I mean that's like one of those things that it just like gets me like riled up. I don't know what it is about it.
But we were talking about Fire Emblem last week, and Fire Emblem 7 is the first one that came to the US. Now I still like Final Fantasy 7 more than that, but that's an example of a series that doesn't use numbers, but I very much know what is Fire Emblem. What Fire Emblem is 7, I know which one that is. Let's see what else goes that far. I mean, obviously there's Dragon Quest, which 7 is like probably the lowest.
I'm gonna put that on to play. I'm gonna play the 3DS version.
Okay. I hear the 3DS version is a lot better.
Yeah, but I almost wonder,
hear
like,
so.
I don't know, like, is that a mistake? Is anybody in the chat played? I mean, is it just like really that much more worth it to play the 3DS version?
I mean, from what I hear, the 3DS version is like really excellent. I've never talked to anyone who did not like the 3DS version of 7. But a lot of those people also liked a lot of people also liked the PS1 version. But like the PS1 version, in some ways it just kind of felt like they made the game so long just because they could. It's like there's all the for one, it's like 3 or 5 hours before you get to the first slime fight.
Yeah, well, I think
it's got a really long build up in the beginning,
it's like 8 hours. Isn't it's like 7 or 8 hours before you get to the first fight because Tim Rogers talks about it in his Boku no Natsuyo, whatever it is.
Natsuyasumi.
Yeah, he like loved the idea that people that waited in line all day to get that game, and they took it home, and they didn't even get to fight a battle until the next day. Which he talks about how it's just like it was like a really ballsy move for them to do that.
It is. But like it's Dragon Quest, so they could get away with it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you have to collect these like puzzle pieces essentially that to open up
to like restore these,
to restore the islands of the world that were like disappeared in the past. And like early on it's not such a big deal, but later you might miss some and have no clue where it is.
Yeah. But I'm sure, I bet you the 3DS version fixes that.
I think I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure it has like tools for helping you locate all of the pieces and stuff. But I've always heard people say very good things about the 3DS version.
Yeah, this is also on my list as Hellblade. I put that on my list, so something I want to play next year.
Oh yeah,
the second one probably comes out next year, I'm guessing.
I bet, yeah, and I'm looking forward to that because I really like that. That game was just really satisfying to play.
Yeah.
We
got to keep it to 10 though. Only 10 games.
I know it's that's gonna be hard.
I encourage everybody else in the chat to say, "Hey, I'm going to pick 10 games from my game collection and say I'm going to play these games next year, no matter what. I'm going to prioritize these over anything else."
It's really hard to say what the 7th Zelda game is because it would be Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. And they came out on the same day. Let's see, what would be the 3rd Super Mario game? World is 4.
Well, someone was saying it be Galaxy.
Hang on.
Why is there a 13 gig patch for It Takes Two?
Jeez.
Like a year and a half after it's out.
5 is 64. 6 is Sunshine. I mean, you could make an argument for Galaxy being 7, but I mean, I think the new series has to count as well. So it would be New Super Mario Brothers. I mean, I know that they're kind of creatively bankrupt, but I think the new series counts. Yoshi's Island doesn't count. That's not saying anything negative about Yoshi's Island, but it's not considered. It's not considered Super Mario World 2 in Japan. And I guess you could count the Super Mario Land and Super Mario Land 2, but I usually don't.
I don't know why this update.
No, I don't think New Super Mario Brothers counts as a spinoff. Like Super Princess Peach does, but I don't think I've always considered. I mean, I know they're so boring, but I think they count. Oh, Lost Levels, yeah.
Is Phantasy Star Online 2 is the 7th Phantasy Star game, I think, right?
Huh?
Phantasy Star Online 2 would be the 7th Phantasy Star game because you got the 4th, then Phantasy Star Online, then Phantasy Star Universe, then Phantasy Star Online 2.
Isn't there a Vita game?
But that's essentially Phantasy Star Online 2. And that came out after Phantasy Star Online 2.
Let's see what else could go on.
Super Mario 2 US is 3.
What would be Sonic 7? I mean, if you count 3 and Knuckles as a single game.
Yeah, then you'd have Sonic Adventure 2, or Sonic Adventure 2. So would it be... Nah, it's not Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Heroes, would that be 6?
Yeah. Well, what about 3D Blast? Does that count?
No.
Why? Well, Sonic CD. So Sonic Heroes would be 7.
Was Sonic Heroes really the
Like, how come
third
Sonic CD
game?
counts, but Sonic 3D Blast doesn't? Is it just because?
Well, I mean, 3D Blast was like it was done by like Traveler's Tales, right?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a Sega internal development. That's why I don't think it counts.
We are like we are just bending the rules to fit within what we want it to be.
Well, Ben Brody let us bend the rules the last time he asked this kind of question. Sonic Advance came out before Sonic Heroes.
I know. It's just like,
But again, I'm not so sure that counts because
it's just it's real complicated. If we just go release order,
yeah, I guess
then would be Sonic R, as Kaylee Gamer is saying. Is that the 7th one? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I just like whatever one you want to be the one that you want to pick is what it's going to be.
You know what's weird? Like
Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 isn't actually even Resident Evil 7. If you're just going by like the amount of games that came out. Sonic 3 is the 7th game. Yeah, what about Sonic Spinball? Can't forget that. Gotta count it. What about the Neo Geo Pocket one? Where does that fit in? What about even just the Master System game?
Master System, yeah.
Sonic Drift. What about Sonic the Fighters? Where does that fit in?
I don't know.
There's a lot of variables here that the Game Gear games, yeah. I mean, there's like 80 Game Gear games.
You're not far off. There are a lot of Game Gear games.
Anyways, is that going to do it? Is that going to do it? I think that's going to...
I guess that's going to do it. All right, so do you think your favorite 7 is Final Fantasy 7? I mean, it's got to be, right?
I mean, if we're just talking 7s, like, they have the number 7 in the title.
Or could be definitively considered the 7th.
It could be definitively.
Like Fire Emblem 7.
Yeah.
It's
although Master Safer's got a point. I hear in Japan they are all the way up to Chubbin 7. I mean, that's what my uncle told me.
your uncle that works for the Chubbins company.
Yeah, works the Chubbins company. It's just Chubbins Incorporated.
It's like the Pokemon company. The
Chubbins company. The Chubbins has become the biggest media property in the world.
Have we collectively across like the past 3 streams talked about Chubbins more than any other streamers in history?
I not in history. I mean, I mean, like the amount that we've talked about it, but I feel like
there's probably Chubbins speedrunners out there.
I guarantee you that we will be the only people that will have Chubbins on our end of the year video list. Unless like now somebody is watching us and being like, oh, I'll take that challenge.
Ben Brody, I told you 7th Zelda is I mean, assuming you don't count the CDI games, 7th and 8th are shared by Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, which those are near the bottom of my list anyway, but you can't definitively say.
Yeah.
I always alphabetize them. I put Ages before Seasons, even though, well, I think I played Ages. I did play Ages first. Seasons is a better game in my opinion.
Zane's dad's got a good point. I'm the first person to talk about Chubbins with a GameCube hat on that was actually like worn, or it was actually won in a contest.
Yes, that
From
you did not win.
was it IGN? Was it IGN?
Planet
GameCube,
which is
GameCube
now known as Nintendo World Report.
Yes. I'm the only person in history to do that. That's
You're the only person in history to have won to have a hat that was won in that contest
that I didn't win.
Play Chubbs.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Well, yeah, maybe.
I mean, it was a Nintendo website.
Yeah,
so you never know.
Groundbreaking. It's like this. Like it's insane, really. Like how much of a coincidence? How many things have to transpire?
I can't believe how fast that download speed is on that. It Takes Two, and it's still going to take over an hour.
Well, now it's shooting way up. It was really slow there for a while, and now it's getting up there.
I've been having slow download speeds on my PS5 lately for some reason.
It's because someone's like hacking Xbox Live, probably. Anyways, I think that's going to do it. Thank you to everybody who donated and everyone who hung around for the whole darn stream. It was a lot of fun. With luck, I mean, there's a chance we might be heading back to Evercade Town on stream next week if it arrives
really?
in this week. We were contacted because by Evercade or by Blaze Entertainment saying, "Hey, can we send you one of those Evercade EXPs?"
Well, probably because we had like the most enthusiastic stream on the previous one.
Exactly.
Because of
Alligator Hunt.
Alligator Hunt.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully, I know there's a second Galeco collection.
That game knocked our socks and everyone's watching socks off.
Like, yeah. So we can use my overhead setup. Since it's a handheld device, I'll probably.
Are you getting any new games with it?
I mean, he said he's going to send he said I'm going to try to send all of the 2022 releases that I have on hand.
Well, that was a fun stream, so I'm looking forward.
And I'll pass that on to you when I'm done, since I ended up keeping the VS. And hopefully it has a video out. So.
Slaps on the sly.
What?
Trout Butter says Alligator Hunt slaps on the sly.
It does. I'm interested to see what the XP is like. Apparently, I heard something really sad. Apparently, they had a big truck full of the limited edition versions got hijacked and stolen.
Oh, gee. Limited edition version of
the Evercade EXP.
Jeez, that's I mean, that's too bad. They're a small company,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was on a truck, and the truck got hijacked or stolen or something. Yeah, it's really. I have no idea how that happened. Did they know that that's what they were stealing? I don't know.
Zane's dad says the second Galago collection includes Alligator Hunt, Satan's Counterattack.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't do a giveaway of some sort.
By the way, speaking of upcoming streams, I mean, that Christmas is on a Sunday, right?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I mean,
obviously, we're not going to stream on Christmas night. There's just
okay.
I love Christmas night. Just
not, but that was my question. Do we just want to go ahead and commit to that now?
That we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
I assume not, but yeah. I mean, I would probably prefer not.
Yeah. I mean, and you'll be doing a backloggery stream on Monday, but I wonder if
probably anyway. I mean, Drum will at least be doing one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe we try to do something before. Maybe, because I don't know. Well, we'll see. We had because last year it was on my birthday, and it was just really fun because we didn't even play any games. Didn't we just talk and look at stuff?
Oh,
we just did a hangout stream last year because it was on my birthday.
Sounds familiar. Well, we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll figure. We'll see.
Who knows? Who knows?
Figure something
Plans are
out.
in flux.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Look for the episode probably on Wednesday.
Yeah. And we'll see.
Maybe Tuesday, but probably Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll see how it comes together. But yeah, I mean, I hope everyone has a great week ahead of them. And have a good night, and we'll see you soon.
Good
Take
night.
care.